The fuck?
The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we are reviewing the classic 1966 film directed by Ingmar Bergman, Persona.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan. I am your host, Caleb Craig.
And this is Cameron.
Caleb Schweiss.
And Joseph Gillet.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about Persona 5.
What?
No.
Really?
Wait.
Yeah, dude, you missed like 4 movies. I have no idea what the fuck.
Shit. I didn't know you could make a sequel to that. That's
Dude,
fucking
I know,
bizarre.
it's weird,
Call it
but
5.
yeah.
Wait, when did this come out?
This year, actually.
Yeah.
A sequel to the 1966 classic, one of the greatest films of all time.
Well, it's the 5th sequel.
Persona
Or 4th sequel.
came out this year?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know how you missed it.
I also don't know why Cameron took so long. Like, it's like 2 hours, isn't it?
You had to
Yeah,
watch
2
it
hours,
like
yeah.
85 times.
Yeah. I just had to get it down. I just had to get it down
45.
to know what it was all about.
fine.
He is the hardest working
It's
man.
the game,
in the Nude
but
Clan.
oddly enough, it's about, well, not really oddly because they share the same title. It is about identity and all that, right?
Kind of,
Sort of, yeah.
I mean,
Is there a threesome scene in it?
There is not.
And how about a random dick?
There
Yes.
is
There is a random dick, yeah.
in both versions.
There's a few random dicks, actually.
In the original Persona, I call it the original Persona, 1966 Swedish film, there is a random dick that pops up in a montage, which I did show you today, and
Yeah,
you
I
did
did.
say
I
you
did
did
watch
ask
it.
me. You're like, did you notice the random penis? And I said,
well, yeah, I was like,
yes.
you're asking Joe if he noticed a penis.
well, dude, it like,
Of course he fucking
dude,
noticed
okay,
it.
flashed an erect dick for like a second during this movie.
That's
during
the whole reason he showed it to you, Caleb.
I feel like that is. That's the
You like
reason,
that
yeah.
dick? How do you feel about that dick?
I just saw it and I was like, did I just see that? So I had to like rewind it, and I was like,
you
okay,
had to
that
take
was,
a,
that was
you
a
had to
fucking
take
dick.
a second look
I
at
had
the
to
dick.
make sure it was a dick. Yes.
Oh, I'm worried about you. I think you're going down the Joe
He
path.
had to confirm the girth. He was like, girthy, but dick,
It's-
yeah.
It is a pretty
it was a dick. Yeah.
pretty happy penis.
It was a very happy penis.
This is very medical, though. Like, this is an erect penis. Like, that's the image that it is. It's not like...
I like how you can classify a dick pic as this is a medical dick pic. He
There
knows.
are medical...
Dude, yeah.
yeah, you can tell the difference between, like, something that's in a medical book.
You just like sift through
versus-
dick pics and you can classify what kind of dick pic they are.
Yeah,
is that what you do?
really can.
Okay.
You really can. The lighting is a really big
The
part
sterile
of it.
the sterile environment gave it away, is what you're saying.
Yeah, kind of. But that whole movie really is like a sort of stale, empty environment. They're on this island, and it's this one girl who's mute, and then this other girl who takes care of her. She's like a nurse. This one girl went mute on stage. She was like an actress, and then she has like a big nervous breakdown. This other girl, this nurse, is there to take care of her. And what happens when they're alone together for months is that this nurse starts just talking to her, and like eventually, like their personas get mixed together, and it's this mind fuck movie, dude. And it's honestly, this is my ploy to get people to go watch that movie because it is crazy and really well
So
done.
it uses the
And a
contrast of
10-minute
staleness
montage at the beginning
personality.
also has a dick in it.
That's it. That's his excitement.
And
about
some
it.
really
That's his
cool
hook.
images of like a kid like putting his face on or his hand on someone's face, and it's like crazy looking.
And then the face changes a little bit.
Yeah, the face
And then
changes
it's a
because
dick
it's one
face.
of the girls that's the mute one, and then the other girl that it's.
And then she becomes a she-male, right? So you get the
They're
dick
both
from
girls
her as well.
They're both no. There is a midpoint in the movie when her identity is really going like nuts. The moment when like they kind of come together, and then that montage, a similar montage, is brought back right at that point in the movie. It's super artsy. I will give that warning. Very artsy, but also
That's the
also-
if you see a dick, that means it's
also
artsy.
very dark and subversive. And she does talk about having a threesome. Is there any threesomes in this Persona?
No.
Well, then it's not as good.
Not through my playthrough. There
Okay.
wasn't.
All right, that's how we know this review is gonna go. It's not as good
there's-
because there's no talk of
There's no
threesomes.
threesomes?
Nope.
Yeah, there's not.
Of course, I think she has what is it in Persona? I think she has a threesome with like some underage boys. I think it was like
Oof.
really. She just talks about it. You don't see it. There's just a scene where she confesses to the other girl that she had a threesome with some underage boys. It's a crazy movie. Anyway.
Okay. What have you guys been playing this week?
Whenever I close my
Cameron
eyes,
Cameron is just staring forward into space. Oh, is it my turn?
no. I know it's my turn. I just had to take a moment and collect myself because whenever I close my eyes, I just have like an after image, like ingrained in my cornea, of the metaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I constantly hear music and stuff from that game, and I close my eyes. It's like I'm actually slipping away. Like my persona will soon be found.
Or your palace.
Anyways, I played
Cameron's
Persona
gonna
5.
go mute.
So I played Persona 5. This is what I played.
Just Persona 5?
Did you
just
play
Persona 5.
any life along with that? Any real life?
No,
Yeah, how
No,
many
that-
hours
that-
did you put into the game this week?
this week I put a solid this week. Let's think.
I put a solid this week into the game.
In these past 3 days, I probably put 40 hours in 3 days.
That is.
And how many hours into actual work did you put in?
Oh, like work? Well, I worked up until Thursday, so I
Okay,
took
so
Friday
how many
off.
hours is that? 32?
Oh, up. Okay, so this week in total, how many hours? So I did. So
I just want to know your work-life balance.
oh, well, I did 32 hours of work this week plus
40 hours of Persona?
No, well, you're forgetting the amount of Persona I played after work each of those days. I mean, it was limited, but I probably still got an extra, I'd say, 8 hours before it. So I saved about 48 hours of Persona this week, plus 32 hours of work.
How many hours of sleep?
I would
about
sleep.
5.
I would sleep from about, I'd say I would go to sleep at midnight these past few days, then
Cameron,
wake
are
up
you
at
shaking?
7. No, I'm fine. My insides don't feel fine right now, but
Your
I feel fine.
eyesight?
Insides.
Oh,
Because I was
insides.
eating like trash because there's no time to make food. So I just bought a whole bunch of those lean cuisine meals at the frozen aisle. Because it gives you some semblance of vegetables and stuff like that. So
And also
Semblance.
blood in your stool
Anal leakage, yes.
is confirmed.
I also bought this 4-pack of toilet paper from Walmart. It's 60 cents for 4 rolls of toilet paper.
4 rolls of
Yeah.
sandpaper?
No.
Okay.
So I
One
think
ply
it's
sandpaper.
I think it's
4
I think
rolls
it's
of
insane.
feathers.
I think it's insane not to pay more than 60 cents for toilet paper anymore. I mean, it's better than what you had at school or at work.
You were talking about what you were
Is
eating.
it one
Right,
ply?
but for me, what I eat in the next step where the toilet paper came into play happened quite frequently this past week.
Were you just like playing Friend the Toilet or something?
No. But there was
You
this
just have the TV on loud. You're
there was
just
this one
cut-
time
through cutscenes.
when it was this the part where Persona gets on where it's just all this fucking dialogue and talking. I just had my headphones on in the bathroom, just clicking through the next dialogue, seeing.
And you're like, fuck it.
I
This is
did.
how
I
it
did
is.
do that. I did do that. Yes.
And when it gets all quiet, you just pause it. Like, oh shit, time's running.
Oh no, and then you can just fucking pick the 3 different answers it gives you, and it doesn't fucking change the story anyway. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. And then he said this. I'm like, and I can infer what I said based off of the first reply, and then after their first reply to what you said, the story goes back to where it would have gone anyway.
Cameron, you came to us and you stood there in like a shock of not knowing what to do. It's like you were raped this week.
I was,
And then you came here to us, and you're not right.
I was raped. I think someone stole my treasure, and so now I'm just in this phase where I feel compelled to.
Your treasure.
You're gonna have a change of heart then.
I'm in the midst of a change of heart where
They have no idea what you're saying right now.
I know, and their confusion makes me happy.
I don't. Okay. All right.
No, it was
Just Persona 5.
just Persona 5. It was good.
Not even a second of another game.
Wow.
Nope, not
Such
even a
a-
second of another game.
What about a
Such
social
resistance.
life?
You know, actually, so last night I ended up beating Persona around 10 o'clock. My one roommate's like, all right, take a shower. We're going to go out. And so we went out with other friends and
Let's
coworkers.
go out.
And I
Is that what
basically...
Exactly how it sounded.
And I basically watched them drink themselves into a stupor, and I'm like, "Well, I'm going to be the designated driver, so."
But I can't see because my eyes are bloodshot.
And so I did drive home pretty late last night, and yeah, but it was fine, fun not to be in the house. It was kind of getting stagnant in there, so
Nice.
Yeah, kind of smelling like ball sack in the living room, just nuts.
it was a fine vintage on that cheese. Let me tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have played many a game this week. I played Final Fantasy Tactics for the first couple days of the week. I played Metal Gear Solid. I
Solid
played
Gears of Metal.
Siphon Filter Logan Shadow on PSP.
Okay.
The sad part is I own every one of those games, but I've only beaten the PSP ones. And I think maybe Omega Strain on PS2. I might have beaten it, but I think there were optional missions that I hadn't unlocked. So kind of sad. And then I played a little bit of Valkyrie Profile or Valkyrie Chronicles Lenneth.
Valkyrie Profile.
Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. It's okay. It's really weird though. The way you move around on the map so far within the first city is very bizarre. So I'm kind of
It's a little.
stuck.
It's a little strange to get used to.
Yeah, it's like a 3D, 2D kind of a thing, and it's weird. But I have heard good things about it. So
Did you get to a part where you could fight yet?
yeah, I fought one battle.
Okay.
And it's kind of cool comboing, like just pressing X and square to double hit and shit.
Yeah.
So I don't have a full party or anything. So I played that. I also played Telltale's Game of Thrones this week. And I think that's all. I think that's it.
Okay, that's quite a bit of gaming.
Yeah,
Schweiss.
yeah.
Did you
I
put
just-
in as many hours as Cameron did?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, but I'm not getting any fucking medals for what I did. So he's growing the hog, and I just yeah.
We're not getting any medals either. I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
What are these medals?
there's the award for King Hog at the end that we're gonna do sometime. So
Pat on the back award right now.
Yeah. I would
Good
say
job. I gave out the award just barely.
foreshadowing, his efforts are futile, is what you're saying.
A little bit. I don't know. Unless he beat all 6 of those games.
How many games did
4
you
of them.
Oh.
We're not doing that yet.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I already know.
Okay. All right. Well, I played Metal Gear Solid this week. And believe it or not, didn't have to play any more Metal Gear Solid after a little while. It's I've done a lot of Cameron stuff where I've put off games, but deciding that I was going to stream every single day, besides yesterday when I had a shoe emergency, as I said on Ultima.
Wow, that
Fuck
sounds
is
super
a shoe
gay.
Emergency. Yeah.
A shoe emergency is when
sounds-
Joe only has one pair of shoes, and then that pair of shoes gets a hole in them, and I got to use them for work, and it's raining.
Fucking quiz!
And so I took my ass over to some shoe stores, and I got a casual pair of shoes and then a pair of waterproof hiking boots. And so I'm shoed up. right
For the
now.
next edition of Joe Tries to Hike
Are you strapped up from the ass up?
2018.
Joe tries to hike 2018. We should do.
Should do a GoFundMe.
We should have done
campaign.
2017. We didn't do any hikes. This
Yeah, I
year.
have all this fucking overtime, or not overtime. I have all this
Yeah, but
free
you'll Have
time.
even more.
No, it doesn't roll over anymore. It does not roll over
What?
anymore. Yeah.
Then use it.
That's what I'm doing. Okay, I took Monday off too, and it's gonna be a me
Why
day.
doesn't it
Okay,
roll over?
it's gonna be a me.
Do you
No,
have like a max roll?
Me-Day? You
No,
gonna
no,
play
no.
Battlefield?
no, I'm
No,
not.
I'm just gonna lay in his room. And
No,
beat
no,
off
no.
like
So
Joe
it
usually
used to
does.
roll over, right? But then they're in the boss's mind's like, well, we're giving people paid time off, but they don't seem to be taking it. So let's give them more paid time off and then make it so it doesn't roll over anymore.
I
and
would
they
accept
can't
that.
and
That's
then they can't cash it out either. So if they don't use it, they lose it. And so that's their scheme to get us to use our PTO.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, then use it.
I can kind of see his point.
They were playing with the idea of giving us all unlimited time off, but then then everyone would feel really bad for actually using any of it, because the study showed when you have unlimited time off, you feel really bad for using any time off.
I would not feel bad.
I
for
would
a
not feel
moment.
bad either.
Well, people who care about their fucking jobs might, oh shit, like if I take time off, they're gonna say, oh, he's taking time off and I don't want it. But no, they're like, so we don't want any of that. So you guys get all this
Is
time
that
off.
like Radiohead putting out their album for free and then asking, "Hey, if you like it, give us money"? And then they made more money off of that album than they did
Wait,
any
so they
other
had
album?
they got enough
That actually
people.
worked.
It did work. That was crazy.
The best part is
I
that
learned
no
about
one,
that last week. I was like, "What? That's awesome."
The best part is that no one actually likes them.
Oh, wow.
They just thought it was a good
I
idea.
know one person who definitely loved.
Who is it? Is it
Radiohead.
Drew?
No, it's Parker.
Oh
My
my, god.
cinematographer.
That's right. I remember him
Every
talking
time I got
about
in his
it.
car, it was Radiohead all day long.
There's
I
like
don't
one
mind
or
them
two
if
songs
you're-
I
if
really
you're,
like from Radiohead, but other than
Stoned
that,
and just chilling and want to also slit your wrists, then Radiohead is really good music for that.
God, dude.
Radiohead is really
That's
good.
a very
elevator
niche
music.
Yeah.
area.
love that
of
creep
that is
being good.
not a very niche area. Just so you know,
I do love that creep song.
stoned listening has been a thing for quite some time.
Stoned and
Yeah,
wanting to
acid
slit
rock.
your wrists.
Acid rock.
I
is
mean,
the
just
thing.
go way back to Pink Floyd. I mean, not way back, but Pink Floyd and all that. The stone listening is not
Yeah.
a niche thing.
That's what
just
they
so you
call
know.
them and the Doors is acid rock because you just take acid and listen to it. Or I usually just get really drunk and do it instead, and then I throw up. So
I don't mind them. I just would never listen to them actively except for the creep song.
I hate them, dude. I hate it. The
You
sound
hate
is
it?
awful. Yeah,
Okay, all right,
can't do it.
all right. I hate Rush. I hate Rush with a passion.
I don't really
so-
like them that much either, so that's cool.
They have like 2 good songs.
If you say Tom Sawyer, I'm gonna punch you in the face. 'Cause that song is obnoxious.
That has to be
It
one
is.
of them.
That voice
Neil
is what
Peart
drives me
cannot sing.
nuts.
He can play the drums, but he cannot sing.
No, you're right. I heard. Oh no, there is one good Rush song, and it is that song that is entirely a drum solo.
The YYZ thing.
I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty good.
The drum solo song.
Drum
people.
solo
yeah.
song is
And
pretty
the
great.
people know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so we know what everyone's been playing this week.
Do
but
we?
What has everyone?
Tactics as well.
Oh wait, we didn't go for you, did we?
No.
Shit. Sorry.
All right, so I played Tactics. I played Destiny 2. I played a new game called Hob. I played
Block
Kirby
Stupid
Nightmare
Monk.
in Dreamland, and I played. Fuck else did I play? I played Rayman Origins.
I hear a new
Why?
game. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And your point is
I think both of you have just forgotten about that goal.
that's
I think once
because the
it's been
goal-
broken, there's no going back.
That's the precedent that Schweiss set.
I didn't set it. You
See, I've
guys.
been
No,
keeping up on my
no,
goals, and
you
I felt
did.
really good about myself this year so far. It's just sad seeing.
Why
you
would
guys
I keep
fail
up
so
on
much.
my failure? You
Hey,
guys
hey,
are the
hey.
ones that had to hold me
Don't let me
accountable.
in with the you guys part here. I've been working towards
Well,
my
Greg's
goals.
saying I set the precedent. I'm
You
not.
did.
I'm not
as
on
soon
the
as
jury
you, as soon
seat
as
here.
you beat, or as soon as you bought Overwatch, and then you bought something else, you're like, it doesn't matter. I already failed. So, and then we were like, okay,
Yeah, you guys were
we
okay with
accepted it.
Yeah.
So you
I
said-
didn't set the precedent. The
You did,
precedent
though.
is set by the court, Caleb. It's set by the final decision.
Did we? Yeah, didn't we? Did make a decision? Did we say whether or not they could continue to buy games on It's Broken without
Well,
any?
you fail it. If you fail it, you fail it the whole year. So one game bought equals we failed that goal.
But there's no
matter
continuing.
what.
There's no continuing.
They don't have any continuing resolution.
There is no double
method.
jeopardy. Although this is kind of like saying that you can
So,
get away with killing
it's
a
just
completely
like-
different person
so it's just
after
like-
being tried in jail for one. But,
Oh man.
it's a
That's
little
why they gotta get them when they have committed multiple murders.
Yeah, there you go. So what has everybody beaten this week?
And there's something wrong with the player. It's just really fucking delayed.
Yeah, Windows
Um,
Media.
I beat a game this week. I beat Metal Gear Solid. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 weeks ahead.
Snake.
And we started it a week late, so that's pretty damn good. Okay.
Gonna be a while till you push a game back.
Hopefully, if
I-
I keep to that streaming schedule, it's honestly kind of hard
To
to
not.
push a game.
That's
back.
what I
Yeah.
was saying to Craig
Unless it's
earlier.
Persona.
Well, he doesn't have the streaming schedule.
If I had 6 months and played it for 1 hour a day and 2 hours
It's
once a
true.
week,
You could have done that if you had it 6 months early.
yeah. If only like a huge game like that got 6 months exactly worth of time to play.
The other thing Caleb and I were
It's
talking
like you
about
could
earlier
piecemeal it and slowly enjoy it.
is that Cameron's success was based off of Joe's failure. So Cameron only wins because Joe failed. It's like winning in golf because the other person sucks really bad. And like you just don't suck quite as bad, but you're still pretty bad. So because you pushed back Alone in the Dark and Near, Cameron was given the time.
Yeah, actually.
beat.
I mean,
You might have pushed it ahead.
I
Anyway.
mean, I might have. If it was on track, I probably would have done the same thing I just did. Just it would have been last month instead of this month. So there's that. That's a way of looking at
Alright.
it. So
All right, so we got Metal Gear Solid for
Metal Gear
Goliath.
Solid, which was a very good game. Oh, I mean, shitty piece of shit. God damn it, I'm gonna rip that game apart in 2 weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I swore.
Spoiler.
I swore like 6 times.
You
there.
did.
That was
are you
accident.
trying to
Sorry.
stop
I-
saying?
I thought you were gonna say
You know,
darn.
2 days ago, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I swear a lot. I swear a lot. And I said, I think a swear jar would be good for me, and I would like donate it to charity at the end of the year.
To the Joe charity.
for new clan.
It seems to be the only charity you
Just
know
a
of.
new savings.
It's just fucking swearing up a storm now. Like I'm saving all this money,
Well, I'm
guys.
saying like I could start at like 25 cents a curse. and
Jesus,
then,
curse.
and then go on
I
from there.
swear. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about doing it. I will
What's
make my full decision.
what's
by
the
next
reasoning?
time's
What
getting
what
fat.
what is this
I don't
drop in
know.
vocabulary
It's
for?
Because I've been cursing since middle school, like crazy. I swear a lot, and sometimes it gets to an obnoxious point.
Okay, yeah.
And I realize that there are people who stay away from me because I curse too much.
I realize that I only swear as much as I do when I'm here. Everywhere else, I don't.
I swear everywhere.
Yeah. See, there's a thing.
Especially at work in my car when things happen.
You and your persona have you're one. I still have to realize my persona. Is what I got to do.
Joe's persona is
Don't
Mara.
know what you're talking about. And I feel like a lot of my humor is based on my cursing, and I would I would like to have that not be the case. I would like to
I'm
be
pretty
funny
sure most of your
without the
humor is
cursing.
shitty puns. I'm pretty sure that's your humor.
What? No.
Dude, that's the only thing you do.
Most of it.
Most of it.
Most of my humor. Come on.
Dude.
Most of his humor is shitty puns. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't have to say the S word with it.
You know you sound right now. Hey, let's try to make. Let's try to make.
Darn you, Joe. Darn you.
Let's try to make a family-friendly episode. Let's see how far that goes.
It's the person I can't trust with that is Schweiss.
You know what the
I
funny-
can do it on Godzilla just fine. When Schweiss comes into the Godzilla show, it is
Whatever, dude. You swear more on there than I do.
over time. Out of total episodes, yes.
And I don't really swear. I said one F-bomb once on Godzilla.
Then I was
It's
like-
my presence. You
I was
blamed
like,
me being
F
there for
it.
your for
I
your
was
swearing.
like, F it.
It's part of
fine.
being in that group. Caleb was there, and you just lessened that part of your brain, and now you're swearing all the
I do
time.
remember one time waking up. I was sleeping in Caleb Craig's bed. This was true. And, and Caleb Craig was, this was a while ago. This is when he lived in Ephraim, and I was always at his house. And Caleb got up and played some video games. And he was playing with Caleb Schweiss. And then he just said the F word in like 50 times, and it woke me up. And then I was just like, every time the F word was said, my ears hurt. I was like, stop. And then I think I like yelled at him or something. I don't know if you
did.
remember this.
I do remember that.
I was like, dude, stop saying the F word. I can't stand. I don't remember my exact words. I was
That's
mad.
basically what you said.
I
yeah.
was mad. I was hearing these curse words so much, and then like the other day I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe it's a super obnoxious. Maybe that's what other people feel. Is that my half asleep state? Maybe that's what other people feel when they hear the F word too much. Maybe it's just like a little pinprick in your ears that hurts.
For people who are not like us, yes,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been hanging out with horrible people.
Yeah,
since
exactly.
middle school, and what comes with horrible people from lower middle class families is that they curse a lot.
That's why you just got to change your language based off of who you hang out with.
I do that anyway,
Yeah.
but I kind of want to stop being so obnoxious.
yeah,
Well,
Dwayne
that's
never,
a great goal.
Dwayne
Like,
never
I
swears
support
either.
that 100%.
Thanks, Cameron.
I don't think his personality will allow for it though.
Well, I just want to. Hey, we should just
He can
do-
cut back the swearing all
let's
he
do.
wants,
Let's no,
but-
guys. Let's start this goal right now. We'll take bets of how long he can last
Before what?
before he says something.
I will say something. That's why I need a swear jar.
Well, we're gonna take bets underneath the table, and we'll have fun. We'll watch you.
Wait, how much money at the end of the year will Joe owe to a charity?
That's a good goal. If you guys want to take that bet?
It'd
What
be an
bet is it?
interesting one.
Well, we're gonna take a bet of how much money he has. Or I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to
How
do.
money I have? Twice can see my bank account. That is a
You
real
can.
issue. The password is.
You know the
How
password.
many dildos has he bought so far?
A few.
Okay.
Not a normal. I
Dildos?
would say a normal quantity. It's nothing
I'm
How
gonna
big are
try-
they though?
I am legitimately going to
normal.
try not to swear. Legitimately going to try not to swear. Except for damn. I got to keep damn. Damn and hell are going to be my replacement.
What about shit?
On occasion, but I think I will be charged for it.
Lesser than the other ones.
Lesser than the F word and the C word, which I have only said a few times, all towards Caleb Schweiss, as we talked about this morning.
Not all towards necessarily.
Most.
Some
well,
you were
okay.
referring to me.
Most
but
of them
not
are
saying
because
it
of
to me.
you.
The first time I ever said it,
It was that was
It was at
referring.
you.
It was referring to me. You said you don't have to be such a c word all the time. It's not really calling me that. It's saying, "Oh, you don't have to." So it was saying it to me or at me, but not to me.
and then ever since then, I've probably said it a dozen times.
Yeah, Caleb, you know it's funny. We tried to do an animated movie podcast, and Craig was actually the one that had the hard time with the swearing.
Dude, it's because of Schweiss. I can't be around that guy and not swear.
Yeah, there was this
can't.
one
How the hell
time.
am I gonna combat this,
Dude, it's
mean how the
all
heck?
it's all of
Yeah.
our gaming time, dude. Like fucking I can't
Whoa!
stop.
I was thinking like just like
if I slapped
there's
you
this
every
there's
time?
this one time we were all hanging out and I'm like, do we just not know any other fucking words to say? That's all we say. Remember when we were on the fucking douche thing? We were saying douche all the time, and
still
then
do.
and then your
Still
and then
douche.
your roommate Hayden is like, you guys say
Still
douche all the
douche?
time. Like try to replace him with taco. You see how retarded you guys sound. What the taco, man? You're
Well,
a taco.
Well, I can't believe you would
Taco
say
isn't
retarded
as
like
versatile a word as fuck is.
Well, he was talking about douche though. That was just my
that.
example.
Douche it.
Douche it real good.
Yeah, douche it real good. Anyway,
What were we talking about?
what has everybody been beaten?
Been beaten?
What has everyone been beaten to? Come on,
I
guys.
said Metal Gear
All right,
Solid.
Okay. I got Tactics,
Tactics.
Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland, and Rayman Origins.
Rape Man Origins?
Rayman Origins.
Rayman.
Yeah.
Got it. What is that on?
It's
System.
it's on a few things. It's on Wii U and on PS4 and PC and yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wait, the first Rayman?
First Rayman I
Rayman
think is
Origins.
on no, it's
I don't think you would start your series with the word Origins. Ever.
oh wait, no, it's Legends. Legends is the one I beat.
Oh, you beat Rayman Legends?
Yeah.
Okay. Rayman Origins.
That sounds like a 5
There is a
minute-
Rayman Origins,
Oh, okay.
but it's not the one I beat.
Sounds like a 5-minute campaign.
No, it's fairly long. It's like one of those Mario games where you have to like do all the platforming bits.
But it's a Rayman game.
It's Rayman, yeah. And it's one that you could actually play, Joe. It's fairly easy.
Is Rayman just a word that they put over all types of games? Because the only Rayman I've ever played, and I realize it's a long series, it has a lot of different things in it, only ever played those freaking bunny ones from...
The Rabbids?
Yeah, the rabbits from the Wii.
That's a pretty new thing.
It's where the Rabbids are where Rayman comes from.
The rabbits are
Or
infecting a lot
they
of
come
things,
from
aren't they?
Rayman, but
Didn't they just severely
Rayman
infect
is
Mario?
its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was first.
okay. I understand that, but
Yeah.
those are the only Rayman games I have ever seen.
I
Oh,
love
they're platforming games.
I love the hell out of that first Rayman game. I could never beat it, though, as a kid.
Is Crash?
It's pretty sweet.
Crash is related to Rayman in some ways.
That's how I felt about
Well,
the
they're
first
both-
I think it
Metroid.
might be
Are they
by
like-
the same developer.
Are
if
they
I'm
like
not 100%.
rip-offs or something like that? I can't remember. I did play Crash Bandicoot.
I don't know.
Did play Crash Bandicoot. That is a difficult
Crash
game.
is a 3D platformer. Rayman is a side-scroller.
I remember
platformer.
that game being ridiculously difficult after like level 5. Crash. Whichever
It does
Crash I
have a
played.
difficulty spike.
And it's all it was really fun, but it was really platformy, and thus I sucked at it immediately. So that's a lot of games beaten.
Jeez.
We're gonna have to.
He
flip
felt he
over
felt the
paper.
he felt the Schweiss hand squeezing his taint, so he's like, I gotta go beat games.
Well, the problem with Craig is that he buys thousands of games and gets almost all the way done with them.
I don't buy thousands.
So now he can go back in and just throw in a couple extra hours. And,
That's not true.
He does it.
I
He does
only-
it in
there's
a
like-
way to
there's
make you feel
probably
like you're
only
gaining
2
on
of
him.
them on that list that I have like pre-gamed before this year.
He does it in such a way where you feel like, oh man, I might catch up. He's like, it's just all about making your
must.
moral drop. He's just like, let's tease him a little bit. Let's let him see the light, and then just fucking take it.
I was
from him.
tied with him 1 week.
He beat me for like 1 week, and then I took.
That's
it
all.
back
That's
full
all your.
force.
That's all your scheme is, though. You just want him to feel like
My
he can
goal
do
was to
something.
beat him
My goal is to
this
beat
year.
him both physically
I-
and and just morally.
I
Just
am making
spiritually.
him. Guys,
His
I am
spirit is
making
gone
him
in the
better.
ground.
Okay, that is what I am doing. I am making him better. His goal is to beat me. Therefore, I must be better to make him better.
No, you just need to lose. To be
No, you just need to beat more games.
It's just let's just see who wants the hog the most.
You know, that reminds me of, you're saying you make him better. That reminds me of something Quentin Tarantino said recently when he was talking about, he was hanging out with his friends, but his friends weren't making movies, so he had to move to a certain part of LA and be with people who really made movies. And he was talking about, I was a big fish in a puddle, but I had to go in and like really take it seriously. And he said, what was it? His metaphor was about, like as an Olympic athlete, like if you're a runner, if you're the best person in your town, that's great, but your time is going to be better when you're running against Olympic athletes,
Right.
So it's that sort of thing. So you're the Olympic athlete in the hog department, and Schweiss's time is thus going to be better because he decided he's going to try to beat you.
That's right.
Right. Theoretically, if Schweiss went
I'm a
for
hog
that.
Olympian.
What does a hog Olympian look like?
Like
Like
him.
Craig.
Me.
He's
Put an
literally
apple
the
in your
only
mouth.
one.
Oh, we should totally take a picture with him with an apple in his mouth.
Naked, apple in
Yeah.
his mouth on a big dish. Oink,
He'd-
oink, baby.
Oh man. he'd do
that
it
pretty
too.
much. You can pretty much just put your Mike Puffball. People on the
He has
stream
such a
could
small
see that.
mouthful. Yeah.
All right, Cameron. Anything other than Persona 5?
No, Persona 5. And
That's
so
all he played. I don't
so
know
I
how
played
he got
Persona
Wow, we
5.
all beat
Yeah.
a game this week.
And
That's
Chase,
fantastic.
Chase, pay up, man. I beat it.
It's true. You beat it on time.
Chase, it was your doubt in me making it. Oh, I'll give you $10 if you beat it. That made me go. I gotta beat this for Chase. I'm doing this for Chase in the show, and not being the one who can argue that I have not yet put off an episode.
I haven't put off
Can't
an
argue
episode.
that.
I'm the
can
only one who has
all
purely not put off an episode.
No, that's not true. You didn't beat Nier.
Yeah, I did.
Wait,
Yeah.
I think there was something that you didn't
No,
beat.
I beat
Was-
everything on time.
I swear to
What?
God, there was one where you were like, "I only didn't do it because Cameron."
No, it was
that
ma-
was
that was my
I was
argument.
arguing for
Oh.
Persona, like if I didn't do it because I was wanting to be as close to him as possible. But I did beat it 3 weeks ago.
All right.
Has Caleb Craig ever put off an episode?
I don't
People
know.
Who,
I haven't.
There are people who know the show better than we do.
I mean, he has.
Clan
I
scholars,
was commenting
we
on
call
that
upon
earlier.
you.
There's people like some of our listeners know our shit better than we do.
Which is a
The
problem.
only one that's twice put off that I know of is Metroid. But I
Did
haven't
you put off
anything.
Metroid?
Oh yeah, that was like
Jeez.
a week too late. Week or two.
Okay.
I
wow.
put off games on purpose.
I know you have. You announced that way ahead of time.
Yep, I'm gonna put this one off, guys.
Chase, you are the
I'm gonna be a
man.
dick.
You are the man. Thank you for that challenge.
What'd you beat twice?
First on Monday, I beat Metal Gear Solid.
That was Monday's game.
And Tuesday's game was
Tuesday's game was Final Fantasy Tactics.
Wow.
and then Thursday's game.
But honestly, the other Tuesday
You don't have
game
to write
is-
tactics out and go into my column like that.
Well, your column's not going to reach the 20s, so I'm not worried. I also beat Siphon Filter that same day as Tactics. I beat it at work.
Nice.
And last night, I finished the Telltale Game of Thrones, which
Oh man, gosh, you're still so far behind.
I know.
Dude, I gotta play all those Telltale games that I have still.
which
I have 5 of them that I need to play through.
wow.
Schweiss, I got a plan.
Are those the gimme games? These like,
Schweiss,
Yeah,
me,
they gave them to us.
me and you are gonna go to GameStop. We're gonna pick out some real short games.
I have a couple in my arsenal.
Yeah, but you
Joe,
need,
you have a few that you
how
can
many
play,
do you
man.
need here?
I'm 4 behind.
see, this is
You
why.
need 5 in your arsenal.
This is why we all need
I-
PCs to play all those really short indie games.
I did
Y'all
buy
do
a PSP game to beat it this week. That's the only purpose it had. And I almost bought another one. I was going to buy Ratchet
you
and
buy?
Clank Up Your Arsenal and just play through it.
What'd you buy?
Logan Shadow. It was 10 hours.
Oh.
Beat it in 2 days.
You don't have any games to play for Nude Clan until the end of this episode, right?
Yeah. And I don't
Oh,
have
you're
anything for
free.
It's gonna
Ultima.
be a long game though.
Oh, Schweiss is free
Is
compared to what he was.
is the game we're
I
gonna be
feel so
playing
fucking
like
free
3
right now.
for its campaign?
It's not as long.
Oh,
According to
really?
the internet, yeah.
Oh.
Is there another game that was voted on for me?
Not
yet, right?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't have a game for a little bit, I think.
Finally get that Battlefield.
No,
But I'm
maybe
also
a little
free,
bit.
Joe.
But I'm actually feeling
That's
that
the thing.
Overwatch right now.
I really want Schweiss to catch up, man. This
He's
is this
caught up.
hurts. I see how much Schweiss plays games, and I'm like, how is he still behind?
he just does not have the free time Caleb has. That's
Look
the
at this
whole
dude.
thing.
They both have 40
We have
hour.
we both
work
have
weeks.
40 hours and he's playing games at work. So he has more time than I do.
Well, that's going to end this week. I mean, we're
Oh,
moving buildings, and I think I'm in the middle of the center, so can't
jeez.
have my PSP.
So you gotta have your hoodie on, and
Yeah.
Oh, that means you just have to download an emulator.
oh man.
Out of my work computer.
Yeah.
Oh, you just have it on your. Just get a little flash drive and just plug it right in, and have it all installed on the flash drive.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've done that at school.
Yeah, I remember having that special sauce at school where it would basically
Semen?
get rid of all network administration stuff, so you could go to any website you wanted to
Oh, yeah, those.
and play Flash games and stuff like that.
Shoot.
Ninja Proxy
Ninja
was,
Proxy.
but they blocked Ninja Proxy now. Special
I know,
sauce is
it took
something else.
It was like 2 months of Ninja Proxy being the king, and then it was dead.
Until they started getting wise to that and started blocking proxy
Yeah,
websites.
lame.
So this one kid at school was for $1 would sell you a flash drive with special sauce on it.
Was it Nephi?
No, it was not.
No,
Nephi.
it wasn't.
No.
He was the guy who was all. He was crime rig man.
Nephi was the guy who'd get you under the table electronics.
Yeah.
He did.
And
he-
then sometimes he would go through the window electronics and and steal some stuff and finally get caught.
finally get caught.
Yep.
But man, did he sell things for cheap.
Wow.
True. Cam had a slew of Xbox games
You know,
because of that.
he was like my best friend in school in like 5th grade when
He
first
was
moved to the
cool
States
enough to
and
hang
knew
out with,
hardly
but
any
hey,
English.
he had a smart business idea, and he was making
yeah.
money. Have you been to Nephi's room? I've been in Nephi's room a couple times, and he had
I doubt
monitors
he's still in
across
the
the
same
wall.
place.
He had PlayStations, he had Xboxes,
Yeah.
computers, all
Yep.
stuff that he was.
He
and
was
see,
loaded.
his real cool thing was he not only would he sell you under the table electronics, but he could fix them too. So that's how I got him
He'd
to know
mod
him. I was
'em.
talking about, hey, my Xbox is broken. He's like, okay, well, do you want me to do something special for it? I'm like, and I kind of like, well, I was on the fence about it. I guess we talked about this before, and he just did it for me. And so I'm, I might as well just take advantage of it if he just did it. And then it was the banhammer happened to that Xbox.
Yeah,
so
instantly.
not instantly.
It
No,
was
the
a few-
moment
it
you
was a
jumped
few
online,
months.
it
It
was
was a
like,
month.
Click.
No. I hopped on. I was playing these $15 games for like a month, and then it was no more online for you.
what you've done.
Oh man, so
You're
I'm not doing
behind.
that again. But
Ugh.
Are you going to be able to beat anything this week, Craig?
Oh yeah.
How much? I'll tell you. if you
Can't
tell
say.
me.
Schweiss, there's some Mortal Kombats in there.
I do have Bloodborne.
Real short campaigns.
I have a few of those.
I do need to play Mortal Kombat 9 because I have trophies in it, and it
Yeah, you do.
brings down my overall percentage.
I
by
do
I
have
can lend you
Bloodborne.
my Mortal Kombat 10 as well.
I don't want your games, Caleb.
Ooh.
I'm giving you the opportunity to
Ooh.
play short games twice.
Ooh.
Why?
So you,
You
can-
claim you're trying to help me get better.
That's
but
exactly what I'm doing.
Fuck
I'm
you,
offering
you're
you
sick.
games, dude.
you're sick.
You're,
I do-
you're taunting his soul,
You know how
man.
much time I put into gaming this week? It's ridiculous, and I still am. I'm only one closer
Hey,
than I was before.
I know you could put more time into gaming. I know you can. There's time.
I saw Caleb look at Alex for just 1 second there. and I was like, I see too much. I see too much.
I can't play
Look
any
at-
more games. Okay.
Yeah, she's giving him giving a look back, man. Okay, yeah, I
can't
take that back.
Do it.
I take that back.
All right. Okay. We should probably get to Persona.
Oh, hold on. We got a question first.
Is it about Persona?
There are a few questions we have for Persona, but
We should
we
just
can,
do those.
Well, we can answer that after the review.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So this first question is from Shinru. Says, talking people just raging." Okay, hold on. What the fuck? Okay, the actual question is: have you guys ever encountered toxicity? God damn it, dude. Well, fuck you. While playing multiplayer games online.
Hook it,
He's
hook
talking
it on
people
phone.
just raging and insulting people on their team, even when they're winning or losing. Kids screaming in their ear or saying that you suck, that they want to murder your family, and DDoS your internet. Now, I know you guys mentioned Halo Online, and I believe Schweiss talked about playing League of Legends, which is an infamous game. So do you guys have any stories?
Hone.
Yeah, Hone was a fucking awful experience for Joe and I. We got on there, tried to play one match.
heard
and
Hone is better than
literally-
League.
Yeah, literally every single person that wasn't Joe and I was telling us to uninstall.
Hey kid, Alt F4.
I got so mad at it that I disabled the chat box in League eventually. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done looking at this thing. I'm done with it. And then I would just get verbal abuse from the team speak instead.
Yeah.
Joe,
Good old healthy twice on Joe.
Yeah.
People were so dumb and humorless, and for some odd reason, guys, stop doing this. If you're one of these people that like when they play video games that they're serious about it, it's not a serious thing.
Unless you're playing competitive.
Unless you are if you're
Were
if
you
you're-
ranked matches? Were you playing
No,
ranked?
hardly ever, man.
Okay.
Hardly ever.
Then it doesn't make sense.
I did rank matches like 5 times because I was afraid my score going
Well,
down.
okay, so for
It's the
League,
same reason why I won't play Overwatch ranked.
it's for League. The reason that Schweiss and I got so mad is because it's an
because-
hour-long fucking game that you're playing each time.
Yeah.
And if you're doing okay, and then all of a sudden you get steamrolled because your fucking teammates are idiots,
Yeah. and
then
it's-
then it's a horrible experience for you.
Well, yeah,
and
it's
it's
a-
an hour long.
It's a very emotional ride to play League of Legends. It's so long, and one tiny mistake from one person can cost you everything.
yeah.
If one
And-
guy is out of position and,
I would always
dies,
say it's just a game, and then Schweiss would
and then
say,
the other
"F you."
people, and then the other people will always be toxic too.
what
I'm
So
like,
rank-
you're only saying that because it's your fucking fault.
What rank did you end on when you stopped the glory days?
I got to silver 2 was the highest, so it wasn't very high.
I think I was like bronze 1
Yeah.
when it's done. Yeah.
I was my first ranked game. I won and got into silver 1, and then it was all downhill from there. I got down into to bronze very quickly. One match.
Yeah, League is pretty toxic, but I know why. It's just still frustrating. And like the last time I went back to it, it was still really toxic, but I don't care as much now. So I was just like, God, you guys are crazy. They're like,
Toxic
They're like, why would you
love.
play this character if you don't know him? I'm like, well, isn't that the whole point of the game is to play a character to get to know him? Like, we're not in ranked here, people. We're just playing. And they're like, oh, you should, or they report you for not playing well. I'm like, report him. I'm like, for what? He just sucks. Do you want him to get better? Because reporting someone for being
If you-
bad at a game is the
Yeah,
stupidest
and like
fucking thing I've
they
ever heard
ban
of.
you for shit like that. Like they
And
put
then-
you in lower like tiers for other people for like lower level players, and then if people keep doing it, then you get banned.
You just have a
Yeah.
bad game sometimes, and that
Yeah.
would be the
if
one
you
time.
become
yeah.
a toxic person, like Schweiss did and Craig did to some extent, playing a video game, you should stop playing that video game.
It's the same thing.
That's
It's
why
the
we
You
same
should
win.
also stop if you're really bad at it.
Is it? It's the same thing.
Split
Playing.
off on that crap.
It's
Well,
the same
really,
thing.
You
Playing
just
really
contradicted
bad.
yourself in 1 minute.
Look. The difference is
Immediate
you
contradiction.
weren't really bad with new people. You were really bad with the person you had been playing solely for months on end. That's when you should probably find a new game.
I was trying Paragon, which is like the console version of these MOBA games, and it's the same way. If you start to suck online, they're like, "Get them out of here! Report them! Ban them!" It's like, and what is it
like,
about these MOBA games
fine,
that just make
I'll go
people
have
so
a life.
violent?
A-hole.
Yeah, and I'm like, you probably would never.
Is
say
it the
this
same way in
real life.
Overwatch? Or do people get that way?
There's yeah, to an extent they do.
Because I've never experienced that in Overwatch.
I apparently had somebody use a thing on me to cut my access to the server.
Oh yeah, I felt that. So yeah, there's this one time in Overwatch where someone can. Overwatch apparently has this thing where people can target your internet connection and make you disconnect from a game. Now there's this one level on the moon base where you have to control the point, right? And there's this big open bay area window that people from coming from the opposite way can see in and shoot in, right? I was playing Orisa, so I had to keep dropping a shield down in front of it and then shoot anyone trying to peek around it. And then all of a sudden, boop, I was kicked off.
Yeah, it's usually only players that do pretty well that they kick off, but
It's
yeah,
apparently a
it's-
thing.
Yeah, they.
I don't
like,
know if it's a thing anymore.
if they
but
if people do it too much, they'll ban them. But like it's a thing that people can do. And
Yeah,
it's,
so-
it's ridiculous.
it's just hearsay. I mean, my connection was going just fine. I wasn't lagging at all. No rubber banding.
Yeah.
I was just, kicking ass and all of this and making it so they can't get into the base. And all of a sudden I was disconnected for no reason. Just said, you lost connection to the server.
Yeah.
Someone was
So-
wondering what Hone was. It's Heroes of New Earth.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was before Dota 2 came out. They were kind of rivaling League of Legends.
yeah, it's made by like one of the other guys who did.
There were 3 people behind. We talked about this on the MOBA
Yeah.
episode. There were 3 people behind the original Dota, and each of them kind of were hired by different companies to make a similar game, and that's how we have Heroes of New Earth, League of Legends, and Dota 2.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy that all those people had worked previously on the original Dota, which was, of course, from Warcraft 3. It was like a little multiplayer mod thing that was
Yeah.
for that. So
Those would probably have been the days to get in on it when it was on the cusp of becoming what it is.
it was already there when we were trying Heroes
Yeah,
of
when
New
you guys
Earth.
were trying it, but
I'm sure Heroes of New Earth is dead because Dota 2 took off really well, and Heroes of New Earth was kind of the loser already, and now it's probably just
the only people there are the people who are really good at it. So
yeah. They
Yeah,
were there
that's- yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Heroes of New Earth was, to be fair, the person I always talk to about this was someone who I used to play Dota with, the original Dota. He went off and started playing Heroes of New Earth instead of League, and he was like, he said it was much better. Fact is, it was a lot closer to the original Dota, which is way more brutal than League of Legends is. The towers are sick.
Yeah, they're disgusting. Like,
And
they
everything is
two-shot
way
you.
faster, yet the map is like way bigger. It's crazy. So, and there's way more heroes. At least there was at the time. It's different now, I'm sure, but at the time, that's how it was.
Yeah, I mean that's why they have
It's
a
brutal.
non-competitive mode and a competitive mode. The non-competitive mode is for learning and playing, and don't play competitive if you suck, because then they're gonna get mad at you. Play non-competitive until you feel like you can play competitive. But if you're a non-competitive play, don't get mad at the new person trying to learn the game.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I
that's
mean,
stupid.
more players just makes it more fun for you. So
Yeah, I don't think there's a single game that's out there that doesn't have any kind of toxic
Frankly,
environment
Yeah.
for
when the
online.
League made their little 15-minute versions of the same game, there was like a special
ARAM,
The 3v3s?
all random, all mids, where it's one lane and everyone ran in.
No, there was a game mode that they had out for like a month. That
Oh,
was
the fucking-
It was just extra. Everything was extra damage, and the game just went
Oh,
way
the
faster.
Earth mode? The ultra rapid fire
Yeah,
that they did
the
for
game
April
was better.
Fools?
The game was instantly better,
It was pretty fucking
The learning
sweet.
curve was sick, but yes, I was able to destroy
and it
people.
was like,
with
oh, okay.
Urgot.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
that
your
you were
Urgot
able to
was
destroy it. If you
disgusting.
lost and it was only a 15-minute match, you didn't get as mad.
Yeah.
it just
This was
sounds
only
like
a
there's a
15-minute
get as
just
mad
sounds
for
like
the
there's a certain
3v3s.
type of
Those
game
ones
that you
were pretty
like.
short.
You like those more or less arcade type games where 15 minutes in you kill people and you don't feel too bad about it. That's the type of game mode that you like.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Yeah. So COD.
Although
3.
I loved League enough that I played hours and hours.
we put a
and
lot of time
days
into that.
and months
It's
of my
sad
life
where we
into
got
it.
with it. Nowhere.
So
It's sad.
yeah, I'm done with that game though. It's behind me.
Yeah, I would only get into it if I didn't have Ultima.
Didn't even install.
There's
it
that
on
one
my
time I rage quit LOL. It was like 2 years ago, and then randomly I reinstalled it again, and I pulled it up, and it goes, "Hey, you quit your last match. Don't do that again." I'm like, dude, that was like 2 years ago.
Can't you just forget?
Forgive and forget, dude.
Don't
All right.
you know?
We should probably get into Persona.
Yeah.
An hour in.
All right.
Got a trailer?
Oh shit.
I'm a shapeshifter.
I don't
What
think
else
that's
should I
that's not the
be?
song for the intro. That's just like the cash.
So
music.
the music that they have for it, that's still sung by a Japanese woman, and their translations to English are kind of funny.
yeah. Still sounds great though.
She sings wonderfully. It's just what is she fucking singing about?
What? Okarimate. I don't know why you don't just take the screen.
I did. That's exactly what I just did.
You tried to click on the video with its little box. Oh, what the hell? Low? Kitty? Yeah, it's not doing. Why is it not showing that? Weird. Usually does it just fine.
Fuck it. Only for our eyes.
Okay, our eyes, your ears.
Peggy 16.
It's the British one.
I know.
You are truly as he anticipated. This is truly an unjust game. But if my voice is reaching you, I beg you, please overcome this game and save the world.
I'll navigate your escape route. Follow my directions. Enemies here?
Suspect confirmed. Cuff him.
It can't be.
Think that all those crimes were led by a punk like this. You seem to be enjoying every second.
You transferred to Shujin Academy, correct?
I feel like we're gonna get along just fine as troublemakers.
Looks like you'll just have to live a normal, honest school life for the time being. Still, make sure you stay prepared just in case anything comes up.
Okay, let's do this!
I'm prepared. Let's focus and get moving. This is the best part of being a phantom thief. Yep, good stuff. I'm satisfied.
Spotted a shadow. Let's get it, Joker!
The shadows are ready to kill.
Show your
Be
true
careful,
form.
Joker.
Allow me to observe the path of your rehabilitation.
Gather personas and bring them here. Execute them and continue to give birth to even stronger personas. The world is not as it should be. It faces an inevitable utter ruin. However, mankind is said to hold the power to overturn even the most dire of predicaments.
And that sold a bunch of copies.
Wait, is this a Japanese role-playing game? Is that what this is?
Yeah, it is. Wow. Sometimes I like to play Japanese role-playing.
Well, this game game has that for you too. Little maid and a little role play going on with the maid. So
Are all Japanese women maids?
no,
Oh.
no,
Damn it.
just your homeroom teacher.
And there is a maid cafe.
Well, we just know that that's every store in Japan.
There's only one.
They're all cafes.
There's three cafes.
I don't know. I just know of the diner and then
There's
the maid cafe.
There's LeBlanc and then
Well,
there's
that's
the diner.
no.
And then
Le
there's
Blonde, Le Brunette.
LeBlanc is
redhead.
not a cafe. It's a coffee. It's a
Beijing.
is it a cafe? It's a coffee shop. What do you call a coffee shop?
I don't know. Call it a coffee shop. Cafe.
It has food,
Cafe.
Yeah, it has one type of food.
curry and coffee.
Yeah, see, he has curry. The
That
special.
sounds like
Let's
a
not
gross.
do
This
that.
the scientifically
Curry and
engineered
coffee.
curry recipe and this blend of coffee that complements it. So, or is it the other way around? Yeah, it's the other way around.
It's mostly a coffee shop.
Yeah. It's the coffee and then the curry to complement
Bring
the
it to the
coffee.
coffee shop.
Yeah. All right. So Persona 5 is a role-playing game developed by Atlas for the PS3 and PS4. Persona 5 is apparently the chronologically sixth installment in the Persona series, and it's part of the Megami Tensei franchise. The development began in 2010, just after they made the Catherine game. Why the fuck did you do that?
Do what?
You know what you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
All right. As with previous titles, fuck you. As with previous titles of the Persona series, dude, you need to fucking stop.
I don't know what you're talking about, Craig.
Yes, you do. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying anything.
Why would Cam? What the fuck, man? Okay. As with previous titles in the series, the party does a battle with the supernatural enemies that using manifestations of their psyches called personas. The game incorporates role-playing elements and dungeon exploration alongside social simulation scenarios. Fuck you. Okay, you're distracting me. Stop it.
How am I? You're not hearing anything.
I don't have to know what you're doing.
What do you think I'm doing?
I think you're messing with the sound shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Anyways,
so yeah, there's a lot for development here. I can't rate it all. I can't. There's honestly too much.
there's too much.
There's too much. What the fuck is wrong with
It
you?
sounds like you're in like the emptiest of empty auditoriums. Like 5 people come to hear you speak and you're tripping over your words. And it's funny, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's funny.
I'm glad
We're
you're
a
having
comedy show, man. It's okay. You can be made fun of a little.
I'm made fun of constantly. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Constantly. You could pull back a little bit.
Oh, geez.
You want me to pull out?
I would like you to pull out. Yes.
Emotions are a little raw right now, under the surface.
No.
So can't read all about development.
Dude, there's honestly too much about development of this game.
Well,
It was developed, though.
It was developed.
Okay, all right. We got it.
All right, so story?
Yep.
All right,
Alright.
Cam.
so enter in teenager, high schooler, about to start his second year. In his hometown, sees this one guy roughing up a
He's a
woman.
high schooler who's about to start his second year.
Of high school, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like second grade.
Oh, no, high school. No, and so he's in his hometown. He's walking down the street, sees this guy roughing up a woman. So enter in high schooler, save the woman, right? Ends up getting an assault charge slapped on him, and he goes on probation. And then for some reason, they need to transfer him to Tokyo, where he's going to live underneath this one guy named Sojiro to make sure he serves his probation time all right. So gets transferred to Shujin Academy, where he begins his new life as a high schooler in Tokyo. Lo and behold, a little random app gets downloaded on his phone, and later that
he
night,
has a dream that
sees
Igor.
Later that night, he falls asleep, and he's taken to the Velvet Room.
Yep, the Velvet Room.
And he learns about the metaverse and things that are happening behind people's cognition. Basically, this whole nother metaverse where people's ideas and passions become physical things, and their corrupted desires become things you can steal to change their heart.
Yeah. That's basically.
Yeah. So you've got to get the Keyblades and attack the Heartless. Is that
No,
right?
okay. So basically, what happens?
It looks like that.
And through the power of your friendships, can you overcome the challenges of evil cognition?
Sort of.
Okay.
Basically, what happens
This
is
game
they.
sounds like nothing. This game
Okay.
makes no sense.
I wasn't going into
Basically,
the
what
detail.
happens is that you get a. You go to the Velvet Room. You get an app that allows you to enter people's psyche, basically.
The Velvet Room.
No, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Is
so
that like the powder room in Breakfast at Tiffany's?
No.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
it's a prison where you're behind bars.
Yeah. So you can go into people's psyches, and you find out that certain things about people, like for instance, you and this other person, Ryuji, go into.
Who is Ryuji?
Ryuji is the yellow-haired kid.
I was asking you to explain.
Well, then
who
you
Ryuji
explain
is.
it. Don't just fucking ask me.
Caleb's on edge today. Everybody needs to be a little bit nicer to Caleb.
That's right.
He'll go League of Legends mode on you.
No, I haven't gotten that.
Okay,
in a long
so
time.
anyways,
Yeah,
you're
none of us have.
you're this misfit high schooler student. It's leaked that you have a criminal record, so everyone keeps your distance. Besides Ryuji, your first friend at this academy, you form a bond with him, and then you and Ryuji find out about this other world, this metaverse, and find out that there's these adults with evil, twisted desires that you encounter throughout life. So the first one, you find this bad guy who's at school. You change his heart. I don't know if I'm going to go
His-
into spoiler territory.
Well,
but
we can talk about it.
'Kay.
Okay, so the first guy is Kamoshida. He's the PE teacher of the school, and he is the coach of the volleyball team, both for the male and female teams. And what you find out through going into his cognition, he's an asshole, by the way, and you.
Like,
go in-
like one of those bosses, of like the penis boss.
No,
He's an
no,
asshole?
not like that.
Oh.
So you find out that he has what's called a palace, which is like basically a manifestation of his twisted desires. And so he thinks of the school as his own personal castle.
Yep.
And so he basically treats like his students as slaves, and even has like sexual relationships with most of the female team.
He sexually abuses the females in the
He sexually
school.
abuses them so that he can keep them in
This
line,
game.
and so that they like, and everybody
So he
know-
could keep him in line.
Yeah, he keeps them in line, and he
What
like, and
the
so
hell?
because he's like
He physically abuses the males on his volleyball team, and he sexually abuses the women
Yeah.
whenever he wants to.
And so everybody knows about this, basically.
Well, some of the teachers do.
Quite a few people, yeah, but they don't say anything because he has made their school famous.
Because he
the
was-
volleyball
yeah.
teams do really, really well.
No, he was really famous because he was
And, yeah,
he
he
was
was
an
a-
Olympic gold medalist for the school for volleyball, and he came back to the school, and he was like their star of that school.
and he's making the volleyball team really good.
And he was making the volleyball team really good, and he was
Yeah.
a gold medalist. So
Yeah.
And then in his palace, as you're going through, you see his twisted desires manifested as you're sneaking through, killing shadows that he's twisted to his desires to protect his palace. And there's this one part of the palace where a whole bunch of the pillars are just like women's bodies with their asses poking out.
Yeah.
And you had to climb up the
It's a-
ass of
yeah,
one
it's
of them.
it's the Castle of Lust. So
Yeah.
like there's 7 palaces.
So the game makers are saying this guy's a perv,
Yeah.
and now we all get to watch his pervy thoughts.
Oh, dude, it gets sick.
Okay.
This is not a game meant for children.
No, it's rated M for a reason.
Or mature.
Yes.
That why it's rated M?
Yes, yes, Joe.
rated
That
M
is
for
that is
mature?
That is why. Okay.
Okay.
So there are 7 palaces that you go through, and each one basically represents a sin, basically, and that sin is their twisted desire in a way.
Yeah.
And so you go through each of those, and you finally find the last guy, who is the guy who beat you, or well, you punched him in the first part of the game, where you find out that he sent you to jail and all that stuff.
So the first guy you got slapped with the assault charge with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you found out that he's trying to become prime minister. And
Whoa! We're past streaming capabilities here.
we can talk. We
Oh,
don't
wait.
have to spoil everything.
We're gonna get banned.
We're gonna get banned.
No. Okay. So anyway, you find the guy who
How'd I get banned?
tied to you from the beginning, and then you beat him, and then you find out that you have to go to the depths of Mementos,
Oh, geez.
which is the
Explain it.
which is the cognition and psyche of all of society, basically.
So you know how these
so it's
evil
the dream
twisted
world.
No, so how all these people have their evil twisted desires and they have their own palaces, right? Now the
palaces
evil
are
twisted
basically just sectioned off by
Yeah.
people who have really intense desires.
right. And then Mementos is just a collection of everyone's twisted desires in one place.
Yeah.
Of the normal people. And you descend into the depths of Mementos to
Yeah,
find
so
out the true evil.
Yeah, so you change Shido's heart, and you find out that basically nobody really cares about it. They still believe that you are evil because you tried to basically frame this guy, and so you realize that you have to change the heart of the entirety of the society because they refuse to believe that this guy is evil, basically.
I mean, that last part was a really great reflection on people in their everyday life of what their desires are and how they would rather push the choices and of their life off to someone else. It'd be so much easier if I didn't have to make my own choices. Someone could make my choices for me. So it's a real good reflection on however, just the human soul and what they want.
Yeah, and so basically you go through the depths of Mementos, you find out certain things for your friend Morgana, and then you basically change the heart of society. And that's the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
What did
really
you guys think of the
haphazard
story?
version of the story, but yeah.
So I assume it's way more in depth because you said
It
it was
is.
all cutscenes and it took you 85 hours.
It's very,
We skipped over a lot, so we didn't spoil
very,
too much.
very in depth.
But yeah, it's honestly, I loved the story of the game. It was fantastic. There's a lot of like hidden stuff in the game, just from like
allusions to other pop culture things.
yeah, allusions to certain things. Like there's like meanings in like pretty much everything that's going on. Like, dude, it is fantastic. I would give the story a 10.
10 out of 10 for story from Caleb Craig.
Damn.
Worth the ban on on streaming past a certain point in
No,
the game.
I honestly don't think that anything should be banned for like just by streaming it. It's honestly a little ridiculous.
I've come to find that people get really touchy about spoilers.
Well, yeah, people get touchy about spoilers,
they
but if
wouldn't
you're looking
watch-
if you're like going to watch somebody play a game, you should expect spoilers.
Yeah, there's a certain
for
amount
that
of-
game.
And we should put a fucking spoiler announcement at the beginning of this episode. but
Well, it
yeah.
is going to be titled Persona 5 Review.
Okay.
And they know we spoil things.
Yeah,
so-
well, except for the first person, that this is their first episode.
Well, it's honestly, you got to take a little bit of personal responsibility with that shit. When you watch someone stream a game, you can't expect to not have the game
True.
spoiled. Like,
True.
Are you stupid? Do you think they
But-
just have their face and no video game?
I was
or
bringing that
nothing?
up probably because the creators of this game feel like they don't like spoilers either. So.
Thanks for the tell.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey.
Yeah, they don't like spoilers either, but it doesn't matter if people didn't want it to be spoiled, they wouldn't watch people stream. It's like looking at YouTube comments. It's you're the one that fucking scrolls down there. You can't be like, oh, thanks for spoiling Game of Thrones for me, douche. It's like, well, why were you looking at YouTube comments? They're awful. First of all, they're a hellhole, and secondly, they're full of spoilers. So fucking stay away. Show some restraint.
It's
People
honestly
shouldn't have to limit themselves because of your inability to do so on a personal level. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's basically like watching Game of Thrones and being like, "Oh, the show just spoiled it for me. It spoiled Game of Thrones for me." You go into it expecting that game. You should expect spoilers.
Well, anyways, you can't stream the game past the November, which is really like the last quarter of the game. I would say is in November. So at least it was for me.
What's that?
The last quarter of the game starts in November.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so they let you stream all the way up to the last quarter of the game for the epic reveal of the end of Cheeto and Momentos. But yeah.
What do you think of the story, Cameron?
Story-wise, this was quite the game. I have
now,
not
this was your
played.
first Weeby game.
This is my first Weeb game, my first JRPG, and no, I have not played a video game that gave this much thought and depth to the story. There's other things that I want to talk about the story, the way they displayed the story, but I feel that goes more into gameplay.
For what are you talking about?
For how all the exposition.
Well, the exposition is there because you're not supposed to play the game in like 2 days, Cam.
Even if I was playing this game normally, I would fucking fondle that fast forward button all the time.
Well, that's why it's there.
Exactly. But I don't feel like you should feel the need to fast forward during a first playthrough. But when the fucking kids will all meet together, spend 10 minutes of real time talking about something, and then you leave them, and then they text you for another 10 minutes about the same fucking thing they just talked about.
It's not for 10 minutes.
And then
you're exaggerating.
You move on to the next scene for just more fucking dialogue. And I think that fits more into gameplay. So story-wise, I'm going to give this one... I don't know. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10 for me. For story. Yeah.
9 out of 10. What takes the 1 point away?
Just what he talked about.
No. That's going to go under gameplay.
That's not really a gameplay thing, though.
It kind of can be.
It's me trying to play the game
but it's
and
still
then
this
separating me away
more-
from I don't know, separating me away from the character because the responses were very they're railroading the story for you. They're giving you 3 responses, none of them I wouldn't say any of those. So I was trying to relate to me as a person trying to play the game. It didn't do it very well. So that's why the point's taken away. For me, trying to fit into the suit of a high school student, it just didn't fit very well for me. So
yeah, I would
the
imagine.
skin suit. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
Yeah.
fitting into your old suits is rough.
It was hard for me to get into that Japanese high school kind of scene, so I guess that's why I'm taking 1
This
point.
isn't my scene, guys.
But
it's just not my scene.
as a story, I can sit down and enjoy it. If this was an anime, I would probably watch it to the end.
There is going to be a Persona 5 anime.
I will watch it.
Isn't that just the game?
Yeah,
It was basically
it's the fucking game.
Well,
so.
you get the story of the game.
Yeah, the story that you missed in those 85 hours.
I mean, there are parts of the story where when you reach a momentous part of the story,
The idea
there
of
is
an
a
85-hour
full-on animated anime scene.
Yeah.
Where it actually looks like it was taken from an anime episode of, if they were to make it. So they already have like little scenes that you can see it becoming an anime with. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for story.
Gameplay. How does it play? You got to tell me.
Honestly, the gameplay is fucking awesome.
How does it work, though?
Okay, so you played Final Fantasy X, so you should be familiar with like it's got the mechanic where you can switch out party members.
Sure.
You can switch out party members during your turn, during their turn, depending on if you talk to certain people. Like you have to build up relationships with pretty much all the people around you because they can affect certain things. Like there's a shogi player person that you can meet, and she teaches you kind of tactics that you can use in battle. So there's like an ability that you use that can make it so that you don't have to wait any turns before you can escape or before you can like do other actions. And she also allows you to switch party members like instantly during your turn or their turn. it's just it's really awesome that way that it has like a kind of mechanic like that from 10, and also like it's just like every other RPG in a way where it has like elements that they're weak to, that they're strong against. Like every enemy, there's like 3 little things they can have for certain elements, and even physical attacks or gun attacks. You can be if they're strong against it, it means they take like half damage from something, and if they're weak against it,
your typical like kind of turn-based type combat.
Yeah, you hit them with their element, and if you hit them with the element that they're weak against, it knocks them down, and it makes you so you can perform another action.
Yeah.
So you can keep hitting them with their weakness, and then you can keep using actions. Or you
when
can,
they
like,
get knocked down, do they get up again?
After a few turns, yes, they
So
will.
you're never going to keep them down.
You will get them down permanently if you kill them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You
So
okay,
another really, really important part, I guess, of the story and gameplay is your persona. So now everyone who's on your team who fights with you, as you play through the game, you slowly add more party members. As you're affecting the lives of those around you, more people join your cause. All the misfits of your school and society are all working together. And each one has their own persona. Now, I couldn't help it.
Couldn't help what?
You're looking over my shoulder at something. I knew something's back there, so I had to take a look. I get nervous.
I was looking over my shoulder because Alex was moving around. I was like, what's she doing?
Anyways.
That's all that was happening. You didn't
are
have
these
to,
one really important part
wait,
of the
guys,
game?
let's stop the show once.
Shh. God damn it.
Okay, all right. Let's. Now we're back.
Okay. Anyways, personas are a very important part of the gameplay. Now, a persona is your version of yourself that is in the cognitive world. So someone else's idea of you in the shadow world, the metaverse, that's your persona. Now, persona users...
Your persona is like your psyche. It's
right.
you.
And so a persona user is someone who's realized their persona and can now use their persona in the metaverse to do various things with them, magic attacks and stuff like that. Now, each of your teammates has a specific persona, which is their other person, a part of themselves. This is my other me. They like to say stuff like that a lot. Anyways, each of your teammates has their own specific persona, and by spending time with that teammate, cultivating that relationship, and even people outside of your team, your teacher, doctor, the person who takes care of you, you strengthen that relationship, and then their type of persona, your way you can interact with that persona increases, giving you higher levels. So when you go and so your story with you is that you have your own persona, but you can use other people's personas. So you can acquire their mask, their embodiment of that persona, and
your
use it.
Your character is basically a blank slate, and so you're able to switch between personas.
Well, you're not necessarily
of, like, other
a
personalities.
blank slate because you have your own persona, but you are the way you are is you can encourage people in such a way where you can use their persona, and so that's part of where the Velvet Room comes into play, where you can find these personas in this cognitive world, which is personas of actual people who are living in the world. You can just convince them their cognitive version of themselves to come fight for you, and then you can take those personas and kill them and combine them into other personas that are more powerful to help you. Now, there are so many different personas and combinations that you can come up with. When you take someone's relationship all the way to the max. Like you spent time with this person, you can decide if you can date them, you can decide whether or not you want to date that person. But when that relationship with that person is maxed out, you can create the most powerful persona of that
So
type.
when you no longer pull out, they get stronger.
You do encourage a second awakening in that person. So
yeah.
When it's your girlfriend, you know what that second awakening is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Anyways,
throw up
when
in
you
my
have your teammates, when your teammates have their second awakening, their persona evolves into a more powerful version of that persona. Their real persona.
Yeah, it's like they have a clearer version or clearer idea of who they are,
right?
And that's what happens.
And you help them realize who they are through your friendship. And so this game really wants you to cultivate friendships with these people, because when your teammates are higher level of friendship with you, they can do better things. Like he said, when you knock someone down, you can do another attack. But now let's say your friend Ryuji, you have him to a certain level of friendship to where you can do a baton pass to your friend friend Ryuji, where he then takes your extra turn for you, and then one of his attacks can be powered up because of that. And so he does more damage because you gave the turn to him. And then they can do follow-up attacks to your attack and stuff like that. And that's just how all of the different personas interact with each other. Velvet Room comes into play where you can strengthen your personas you like, or if you level someone all the way up to the end of their level, you can make a persona of that type. That's the most powerful of that type you can create. It usually requires a whole bunch of different personas to be sacrificed for it in order to create this really powerful version of a persona.
Yeah, Cam wanted to get God, but he couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to create Metatron, but then I had neglected a friendship with a certain friend who I needed to be all the way max in order to get that most powerful persona to make this other powerful persona, and it was too late by then. I couldn't do it.
So is the gameplay fast? Like, is it a quick battle system?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it's a quick battle system.
The
It's
battle
very
system
fast.
is quick. So yeah, battle system's quick. Your battle's usually done within a minute or so if it's a hard one. Boss fights, of course, take longer. Ryuji, if you level up to a certain way, he can help you auto-complete certain battles. So when I spent like an hour playing with Reaper and got to level 93, I almost never had a smaller battle than a boss battle. Never.
Yeah, you can basically you can see the enemies on the map when you're walking through these palaces.
Show me your true form.
Yeah, and you try to be stealthy as possible.
Every time you initiate a battle, you pull off their mask to reveal their true form, and so it's show me your true form every time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Activating combat mode.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not quite that bad, but anyway.
I don't know.
So you sneak through these palaces and you can see the enemies like on the map. And
Sneaking
so you
is a
can
huge
avoid
thing, yeah.
them, or you can try to.
So as you're sneaking about,
attack
yeah.
them, and then it would be like an ambush, and
Yeah.
so your guys can
as
move
you
first.
as you sneak about, if you get caught sneaking, the awareness level of the palace goes up, and each time the awareness level of the palace goes up, the enemies you fight get harder progressively. Sneak attacking successfully lowers the awareness level of the palace. Now, palace fights are great fun. I mean, the palaces, like, if this is how most turn-based combat systems are, I love it. It's great. I love the weaknesses. I like studying the enemies. I love combining personas. Oh, that's great. When you fucking get to it, Jesus Christ, all the fucking dialogue in between each section is just ridiculous. I mean, how much fucking exposition? How many times do we have to talk about a stupid thing several times? And how many times is Ryuji going to open his fucking mouth and say something? I just want to fucking shove my fist down his throat and pull out his fucking intestines. That fucking kid, I would never be friends with him in real life because he's a fucking idiot. Okay.
Wait, you're not friends with idiots now?
Oh, Jesus, man. All the
with Joe,
fucking
aren't you?
talking and talking and talking from a person who's
Darn
this
you,
is his first time
Greg.
playing a JRPG. Like I guess I'm just not used to this, but how many times can you talk about a subject you just fucking talked about?
ranges,
It's a
man.
video game.
It
Why do we
ranges.
need to have this conversation that goes in loops? Okay, how about this idea? And they mull over the idea. Fucking stupid comment from Ryuji. Mull over the idea. Another fucking stupid comment from Ryuji, and they finally come to a conclusion. And then
Is this a
fucking
News
Ryuji
Clan
texts
episode?
you 2 minutes later about the same fucking thing that you fucking talked about, and then you mull it over again in text message, and then you fucking go into another scene where you have to talk to someone else about something else. Like the talking is what this fucking thing's about. You're always fucking talking with someone. It's just all this fucking talking. You can never do what you want to do because you're talking, or you're fucking going to sleep. It's like, oh, it's late. You got to go to bed now. Can't do anything else because you also have to progress in class. You have to progress in intelligence, charm, proficiency, kindness, and all these other things that take a fuck ton of time to actually grind out all the way, which is fine. But you can only do at most 2 things a day. That's all you can do. But then you're fucking talking all the fucking time. It's all this fucking talking. So if I was not trying to rush this game, I would still fucking fast forward a lot because I get your fucking idea within the first 10 minutes of talking about it. So why do I need to spend another 30 minutes of talking about the thing we just fucking talked about? And so I would fast forward all the fucking time in this game if I was playing it like normal. I would. Because if I miss something important, I can infer what that important thing was later in the game based off of what they're fucking talking about now.
Are there like
Oh, Jesus. So
different
much
types
talking.
of cutscenes, and you know which
Yes.
ones are important and which ones
Yeah,
aren't?
so the ones that are important are the ones you can't keep hitting the X button to skip through. You can still fast forward those scenes if you want, but those are where the real important exposition comes into play.
The
Usually,
only ones that aren't really important are the text message.
the text message, I pass all that as fast as I can. And it's like you hit the fast forward button, and you can just watch like 30 or 40 text messages go pass by. It's like, I want to fucking read all of that. Jesus.
Did you read it all, Craig?
I did.
Damn it. God damn. And how
You
many
know,
hours?
That's why.
And then
that's why.
how many hours did you spend in the game?
92.
So he came. Here's the main difference. I skipped as much as I could reasonably skip, and he did not. And he still played the game in a focused manner. I mean, there's more you can do. He probably didn't get all of his confidants up to level 10 or whatever. But he played 92 hours of the game, right? I skipped as much as I could. And I beat the game in 85 hours.
That's ridiculous. That's so much time, man.
I'm telling you, it's these conversations, it's time in between actually playing the fucking game in the palaces that take the longest. The reason why this game is 105 hours long and on average is because you want to do everything you want to do, but they just don't fucking shut up. Like, get to the fucking point sometimes. Jesus Christ.
Wow, we've heard a lot from people, listeners of this show and Ultimate Final Fantasy, that said this was the best RPG of the year.
And yes, when you actually get to play it, yeah, it's great. I sit down and watch. I felt like I was taking part in an interactive anime is what it felt like at points. I watched the game play like, let's keep fucking talking about it. Oh, now look, we got to worry about school, and oh, wow, now we got to worry about relationships, which is great. But just get to the point sometimes. Man, this is my first experience with a JRPG, and yeah, it's fun. Okay, I had fun. I'm going to admit it. I had fun, but I'm just not like all this talking and talking and talking when they get to the point in the first little bit, and they just keep talking about it. And then Ryuji, there's times I just wanted to have the team take him into a corner and just beat the ever fucking shit out of him and just have him cough up blood in the corner. Jesus, he's such an idiot sometimes.
You should play
God
15.
Damn.
There's barely any story.
Well, there's tons of dialogue, but you get to play at the same time.
That was my main gripe about the game, but I would give gameplay an 8 out of 10.
Those 2 points specifically for the dialogue.
Yeah, and Ryuji too.
Only 2 points taken off. That's not bad.
That's still a story thing.
I had fun. Like I had fun. Okay, I had fun playing this game. It was fun for me. The only main griping point is just all the fucking talking. Like, they just never stop talking. They don't. They don't let you do what you want to do when you want to do it, because you can only do 2 things a day that actually progress you as a character. And you have a full fucking year laid out for you in gameplay. You live every fucking day. You live every fucking day. And every time you're in Mementos and every time you're in a palace, you are playing 5 hours or more in one day. And then you still have the fucking rest of the day, the month to live out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get that's probably something that's new to me, but that might be part of why it was hard for me. But they just so much are just beating around the fucking bush. I hate it. So 8 out of 10.
Right, well, the next one is music and sound.
I didn't give
a. Oh shit! Sorry, I keep skipping you.
Yeah, you do. I don't know why.
It's hard to miss.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the gameplay. I think the dialogue thing that Cam was talking about is more story, but whatever. Anyways, it gives you so much opportunity to do like a ton of shit. Like Cam said, you build up like your personal stats to like be able to talk to certain people, because you have to have,
which is a great dynamic, but it takes forever.
Well, the entirety of the game is about like relationships, your psyche, and like everything to do with like just life.
Why can't I just stick my fist up his ass and have full friendship?
That's why we're only acquaintances with Cameron.
Pull on a few chords.
All right, Cam, I'm gonna challenge you to walk up to a random stranger, shove your fist up his asshole, and see how he responds.
Are we friends now?
I mean,
is this friendship?
Friends.
I mean, I can when I'm using him as my own puppet, can I just fucking have his persona too? Just like, isn't that how it works? He's my new hand puppet. Come on.
Dance. Starts tapping his feet.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, Cam, but all right. But yeah, I really enjoyed the gameplay a lot. Like, the battles are fantastic. Just
Battles
normal,
are fantastic.
the normal like life stuff that you have to do is pretty great too.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
There's a lot of different options to play through. You can like build up your personal stats. You can build up your relationships with your friends. You can even go to the gym and like build up your
doing little
HP
things.
and
Yeah,
your like mana points.
like you're basically trying to live a life of high school student. You're going to school during the day. You're answering quiz. Yes, you do have test time. You have to do well.
So you're a
in
high
tests.
school student, but also you're inside of other people.
But also, you are a phantom thief by
Okay,
night.
got
Yeah.
it. All
So
right.
yeah.
So regular high school life.
Yeah, so you're going to movies, hanging out with friends, you're doing stuff to basically make you a better person overall. Stuff you should probably be doing in real life and not in a video game, but it is a great, accurate thing about how you can't just become a person overnight. You do have to work at it. And that, I was joking, but yes, it does take time to grade out being debonair, which is the highest rank of charm you can get, but stuff like that.
I had to bathe a lot for that.
Yeah.
You had to bathe.
Yeah, taking a bath makes
Once
you more
a day.
charmful.
Yeah, it was once a day actually.
And
so much effort.
there is not a shower in where you live, so yes, you do have to walk across the street and take a bath with a whole bunch of old men, and it makes you.
Oh, like a bathhouse.
It makes you. It,
bath.
it
Yeah,
gives
you
you
have to go to a
charm.
bathhouse,
Yeah, it gives you
yeah.
more charm to sit in a bath.
Because you're
full of
hanging out with
men.
old men getting their jokes.
Nah,
you
it's
get
because
the
like
charm.
it's like a sauna bathhouse place, and like
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like supposed to make your skin look better,
I appreciate
and that's
your
why it
choice.
boosts your charm. It's because it makes you look better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty great. I'm gonna give gameplay a 10 as well.
As well.
As well as my
As
story.
well as your
my
story.
score.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, well, Cameron just gave it an 8. So
Oh man, did I mention that there's screens that I thought were loading screens, but they were not loading screens. It was just screens to give you the chatter around town. It's just you have to keep pressing it, so you can see a little dialogue box pop over there. If someone's saying this thing, someone's saying that thing. Not loading screens, by the way. Just an awareness of what the crowd is saying. That's all it was for. So yeah.
how does the gameplay and story compare to 4?
To Persona 4.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty different from 4 because 4 didn't have any of that stuff really. There was a lot of dialogue, but not quite as much that I remember as in 5. But then it also has like randomly generated dungeons for each thing, whereas like Persona 5 has like they have the specific palaces for each place. Instead of being like randomly generated, they have like the actual thing mapped out. And just like even the enemies are different in Persona 4 because like they're like shadows. They look more like the Heartless type thing. Whereas in Persona 5, like each of the enemies is actually like one of the personas.
We played that trailer of Persona right when we started here, and I was immediately reminded of Kingdom Hearts. Immediately. I was
Well,
like,
that's what they look like when you're just like wandering the map, and then you like remove the mask, and then you see the persona form.
Yeah, so when you pull off the mask, so they make it to where you're hiding from the shadows, but when you ask them to show their true form, you then see that it's a collection of various personas that you have to fight. So, yeah.
All right. What is the next one?
Sound and music.
I really like this. The voice acting is amazing in this game. It really is, and the music is fantastic, although a little repetitive.
Each palace has its own theme. So when you go into a palace, it has its own theme. But so one thing you have to keep in mind is that people are in these palaces for 5 or more hours. So any theme at that point becomes a little...
Any theme that's one singular theme that loops over and over again?
Well, it loops, but it also is like intercut with there's like different music that goes on when you get into save rooms, the safe rooms where you can save, and then there's also the battles. The battles also have a different...
One thing I'm really thankful for, that there are certain places you spend more time in more than palaces, and that's the Mementos, that's the Velvet Room. I'm glad that they chose songs that were nice and thought through, but they didn't have anything that was annoying about them. So it could be a loop that you could hear for hours on end, but not get crazy listening to it. Unlike the music in Palace 3. I showed you guys that a little bit ago, that one little fucking
you
flute
really
lute.
loved that Palace 3
Man, 5
thing.
hours of that fucking lute, man. Jesus, it was too much.
Could you hum it for us?
No, I'm not going to try that. But I can sing the one song that was pervasive throughout, where this one Japanese woman's just like, I'm a shapeshifter.
Love that
What
song.
else could I be? And then some other nonsense. She just sings some fucking not really well though. Just really
Is it
well.
Japanese or is
Yeah,
it
it's a Japanese woman singing the lyrics to this music have been translated to English. Really well singing it.
Well,
so, yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
so-
unusual. Believe me.
Yeah, no, she
it's
sings it really
fantastic,
well.
dude.
She says like the music
Hearing English words in
really well
Japanese
thought through.
songs are
Right, well,
vomit-inducing.
sometimes like the lyrics to me did not make sense, but man, did she sing those lyrics? So, congratulations! And so, music and sound was actually really good. All the little sounds are great. Even the "Show Me My True Form" thing is not as annoying as entering combat mode for Crisis Core. I think it's that overlaid of electronic voice, and that really set it off. But "Show Me Your True Form" is okay.
What about Show Me Your Moves?
Show me your moves.
It's from FF10 too.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Craig will know.
Show me your moves. Oh, you'll find out, Craig.
No, dude, that's
And it's not every time. She only
that's
says
what
it
Captain
once.
Falcon says constantly.
She only
It's
says
his
it once,
taunt
and it's
for Smash
drives
Bros.
me oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
But
know
it
that.
sounds like "Show me your boobs."
No, but the music.
Well, it also sounds like effing punch when he's
Falcon punch.
Fucking punch.
Excuse me.
Music really well thought through. The sound in this game was really well thought through. The main character, he had a voice that you would hear in little snippets, like "Show me your true form" and other things he'd say. But they didn't give you a very strong voice. But that's just so
They
you're
didn't
in a
give him
voice.
much of a persona.
No, because you are that persona. You're the player. You
And
are his
he has
persona.
multiple personas.
Yeah. And so that's just letting you try to ease into the role of a adolescent
Does
high schooler.
He just
but
have multiple personality disorder mixed with schizophrenia.
You don't know.
No. What it is it's trying to help you fit into a role where you are the support system for everyone around you. Like fucking everyone. High schooler student, he's getting his teacher, his person, like all these fucking people confiding in him.
Can you sleep with your teacher?
Yes.
Yes, you
Wow.
can.
Yeah. You could sleep with the doctor who does fucking shady
I
clinical trials
totally
on you.
did that. I loved it. I will be that woman's little guinea pig forever.
I bet you.
Little? That's what she says. She calls you her little guinea pig.
Yeah, did she let you crawl up her ass or what?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh,
If it-
sorry.
Is her name Richard Gere?
I bet you spanked to that too. Just bet you did. But yeah, so there's certain character. If you date the adult characters, it alludes that you do have sex with them. But if you date the high school characters, it just alludes to cuddly time, is what it does. So yeah.
Oh, so we're cool with the sexual abuse of minors.
That's part. That's part of the part of the game that you're fighting against the abuse of minors. Yeah, that's part. That's like kind of
you're
the theme
gonna
of the
bang
game.
your teacher.
He
Yeah,
can
oh, yeah.
consent.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like 17.
Oh, he can consent.
You find out
their
that
age is like the age of consent is 16. He's like 17.
you find out that that your teacher is a part of this maid service, and you call her to your room frequently, in her little maid outfit, having your teacher call you master and stuff like that. Oh
Nice.
yeah, it's a
I just
that's a little glimpse into a
I
culture
just
that I
came.
just that's part of
You would love it, Joe.
I just came.
man. So.
Again. Oh, in the middle of that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so this game is not meant for kids. Each of these people that you're helping the lives of, they have these dark
But it's
things that
anime.
sets them apart from everything else. Why are they unique? It's usually something dark that has happened to them that you're helping them come to terms. It's really like you play the role of a high school
Therapist.
high schooler who's also a therapist.
Therapist who's banging his
Like
teacher.
you find a rival who's a high school detective, who's an ace detective. Well, you're just an ace therapist, man. You just bring people together, make them feel all sorts of special feelings. And yeah, that's what your role is. And then I was thinking that if you're really depressed as an individual in real life, just play this game and have all these characters come to you. I can always trust in you. I like for some reason I can open up to you. Just like
Well, it's
have
because
that-
you become
have
their
that
best
feeling.
friend.
I know, and this just if you feel like you need to connect to someone, play Persona 5. If you want to feel like you're in charge and people trust you and confide in you, play Persona 5.
Thanks, Cameron. I will.
Good. I'm here for
Joe
you.
needs to.
Oh man,
He really does, though. Both
We s-
you and Joe, I would recommend that you guys play it.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
yeah, it's a good game.
Okay,
You wouldn't
cool.
go miss playing it.
Sound and music. What's your score?
I'm gonna give it a 9, just because it does get a little repetitive.
9 out of 10 for me as well. And it's for that fucking
Nice.
flute bagpipe thing in Palace 3. Jesus.
All right, now the thing that scared Cameron for years.
For years?
And yeah, it's pretty much he had years to play it. Let's be clear,
Yeah.
half a year actually.
Yeah, game's old news now.
Yeah. Design, the look of the game, art design.
They were going for an anime type game, and they hit home with that. I'd say the design fit the game style pretty well. I hadn't have any design issues at all.
I didn't either. The design is really beautiful looking, actually. There's a lot of really bright colors, and there's like they have a really highly stylized sense of like menu and like the text messaging.
Yeah, that was one thing I want to
things.
bring up in gameplay. Like searching through your menu was not an issue at all. I mean, when you had a lot of stuff, you might, you have to look through it, but I did not have any issue with menus and finding items I might need. So,
Yeah, and like everything about the game, like it's super stylized. Just like even the loading screens, it's just like people walking by and like a weird kind of thing that look and like trains and stuff. It's all like really.
even
awesome.
the main logo for P5, the bold italicized P5 in the red background, I like that actually.
Yeah,
I really like that. Like that design choice for the logo of the game. Actually, when I saw it, I'm like, oh wow, that's actually
Did you
kind of
pull
cool and stylized.
the controller
No.
cover off
No.
immediately when you completed it?
Oh no. That's still on that controller. Although I don't use that controller.
You keep it hidden away?
No, I just leave it there because that
Okay.
controller is fucked anyway. It had to survive a rage fit of Battlefield 1, so. And I started moving sideways every time I'd aim. My character would move sideways, so
do a little strafe.
I have
And,
never broken a PS4 controller.
it's an expensive controller to break.
Oh, I know. That's why I haven't done it. That's why I break my body first.
I have given myself bruises on my legs, yes.
What's wrong with you people?
I haven't broken a controller.
I have not cut
Yeah,
myself
one
on
I
a controller.
you just break ones that I loan you.
You're talking
But
about
he doesn't do it.
Covered in food.
I was going to say he doesn't break it in rage.
different.
Did you bake it
To
in a
be fair,
fucking
that
pie?
is different. Whoops.
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
I don't know why it was in there.
Oh,
This middle
man.
part's a little undercooked. Oh shit!
It's a fucking controller.
I mean, darn.
Oh, man.
I
That's
do
one.
like the designs though. The personas look really cool, especially
Some of them looked pretty cool. Some of them suffered from anime weirdness, is what I call it. But yeah,
like what?
The whole game.
like the fucking dick monster. There's some of them that
was
over
Dick Monster?
over stylized. Mara,
It's Mara.
Okay, yeah, Mara. He knows what his dick.
Okay,
So
explain Mara.
It's a dick and balls monster that's on a chariot of death.
it is nothing other
But
than
what
dicks and
persona
balls.
is it? What is it all about?
I think it does curse moves. I thought no, probably not. Anyways, Mara apparently is the god of fertility. So
They all have like their own little backstories that you can like
Yeah.
look into.
I mean,
which is
they're
pretty
not
sweet.
they're not making up the names for these personas. It's actual alliterations
Yeah,
to
they're
real life
based
stuff.
on things from like history and mythology and all sorts of things like
Yeah.
that.
Have you seen the Japanese Penis Festival?
No,
Look it up on YouTube.
I don't think I want to,
Look
but
it
okay.
up on YouTube. It's interesting.
I just keep
Chode
learning
Fest.
more. I just keep learning more and more about.
Fest 2010.
I just learn more and more about Joe and what he does in his spare time, and things just start to click. So, yeah, just penis
I
festival.
do my penis in my spare time. Yeah.
I mean, don't you?
Oh man.
I mean, honestly, that
I do it
Mara
sometimes. Come on.
that Mara persona looks like something that Joe would honestly just try to doodle.
Yeah, and then the one of the
wait,
one of the
doodle in what way?
We find out Felicia was one of the artists that we sent her the Nude Klein book.
one of the personas, one of the demons was just a fucking demon sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
and floating in front of you, and then
awesome.
it's
That's
like
good.
it's like so and so demon concentrates, and he's like. he's like looks like he's taking a fucking shit in the floating toilet.
He does take
so,
a shit.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
And
Yeah.
he's- yeah.
Design out of 10.
I really like the design. I think I'm gonna give it a 9.
9 out of 10. What takes the 1 point away?
I really like that there are other monsters like in Persona 4 that had their own kind of thing. They designed like a shitload of them, and then there were the personas. So there was like basically 2 sets of designs that were going on. And then while I liked that they used the designs of the personas for the monsters in this game, I kind of wish they had more to it a little bit.
Okay.
Because it was just basically like those creatures, and then I don't know,
Just
it's
reusing old designs.
Reusing old designs, yeah. I wish there was more to them.
Well, I
because
like- I liked
it's
fighting.
the same set of personas that they've had since Persona 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Thanks for
okay.
the follow-up.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like being able to fight these monsters and being able to basically take them over as well to use them for later.
Yeah, that
I don't
was a
have
sweet ability.
I don't have any other previous personas compared against, and as far as design goes, I think it does what it was trying to do. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 on design.
You've never seen the original Persona?
No.
The one that this is obviously based on.
No. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I have nothing else to compare it to. I'm not tired out about the Persona designs like Caleb might be for playing the previous Personas.
I don't know. I would give it a 10, but I don't know.
But
I
he
mean,
can't love things. He just
coming in from a new perspective design, I have no issues with it all. Nothing got me
It
mad.
is really great.
Replayability. Would you ever replay this game?
replay
Yes.
from the
And
beginning.
in fact, I have been tempted to start it again since I beat it.
there are speed
multiple
runs.
times.
I think the guy,
The-
one of the streamers I watch because he streams a lot of Final Fantasy, his name's Seraph. He speed ran the thing for like 2 weeks straight. It's kind of sick. He got it in like 23 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just skipping the dialogue. of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. You're
Just spamming the fuck out of the
skip the dialogue.
So skip
ignore
the dialogue and it brings it down to
ignore
a quarter of the
relationships.
time?
Yes.
and then ignore relationships. Don't fucking date anyone.
I'm sure they
Don't-
have to date
yeah.
some people based on what you guys have said.
Yeah, it makes
Not-
you
not
don't have
really,
to. It
but-
makes certain things stronger, like but you don't necessarily have to.
They probably went with certain people just to get certain benefits for the speed
Yeah.
run.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
other than that, they would probably skip everything.
I didn't watch much, but I assume something like that.
Yeah.
To get those faster times.
But yeah, I did want to replay it like immediately, and I will play it eventually again. There's a lot of value for the replayability.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of separate choices you can make based on who you're dating, like which
Sometimes you want-
personas you want to go with.
Sometimes you want 14-year-old Putin. Sometimes you want 30-year-old Putin. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
yeah.
just a toss up. I
That
mean,
was disgusting.
Sometimes it's what you want.
That's worse than anything I've ever said on the show.
I mean, because this game allows you to do either. So
Why not both?
yeah, why not both?
you can actually do both.
Well, yeah, you can, but there's like a final scene that like they all break up with you. Anyway,
Hey, we're not the ones who made the game. We're not the ones who made these things
You are
possible.
right, you are not the one who made this game.
yeah, so there's like a lot of value in being able to choose who you spend time with, so that you get certain benefits. Like there's the guy who sells you weapons and stuff. You have to have a certain level of courage, basically, to be able to talk to him, to get him to give you like the weapon that he gives you, and then like spend time with him so that he sells you and gives you more stuff. Just certain things like that add value to the game, for replayability, as well as the combat being fucking awesome and the story being awesome as well.
Okay.
So I would give it a 10. For
10 out of 10 for replayability
replay.
from
Yep.
Caleb Craig. How about you, Cameron?
10 out of 10.
You're
For
going to play it
replayability.
again?
I need that Metatron. I need Metatron.
Metatron is sweet.
So
I got Satan on accident, which is fucking sweet.
Yeah, I never got anything out of that network fusion that was
Love a
worthwhile.
good Satan.
I do too. He has 6 boobs, and I don't know why.
I know why.
'Cause
6
why not?
times the fun.
So yeah, I'm gonna give the gameplay 10 out of 10. There's so many things that I didn't do that I felt like would be fun to do.
Are you going to do it?
Oh, also, there's fishing in this game, guys. You can go fishing.
Oh my god.
Oh
What's
yeah,
with the fishing
there is a
recently?
fishing minigame.
The
I did find that.
obsession. The obsession with fishing minigames.
They
in these
like to fish.
JRPGs.
Just don't get it. Like they like to fish.
Well,
I guess
they are.
I guess
there
they are an island.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
people
I
in
mean,
Japan
you
love to
have
fish.
fish.
Oh,
so
of course, there's a lot of fishing in Japan. That was the dumbest thing I've ever
I
read.
know. I was gonna say what?
Oh, yeah. There's an entire market based upon. Yeah. There's like a whole section of the Japanese economy based on fish.
Yeah.
Forget. See here,
It's like
because we live in
multiple
the
foods that
we
are
live in
based
the desert in
entirely
the
on it.
mountains. It's like, oh, you want to
Fishing
go up
is-
the creek and go.
Fishing
little
is like
fish?
an important part. Like there's
Forget.
even a
When
test
you're next to
question
the
about
ocean, it's like
fishing
fish.
in this. There was even a test question about what public service the fishermen's fall under, and it's actually like a public service thing. That so.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about dolphin hunting? I'm just okay. All right.
Whaling.
Yeah, there is a whaling minigame. It's a
Is
10.
that a public service as well?
Fuck you,
Fuck you.
dolphin and whale.
I quoted Cameron. Doesn't count.
It does though.
No, it
Chicken
doesn't.
and cow.
Chicken and cow.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 10 out of
So,
10.
That episode was great.
This is one of the best games we've reviewed, apparently. To recap, Cameron gave story a 9, Craig gave it a 10. Gameplay 10 for Craig, 8 for Cameron. Music and sound 9 for Cameron, 9 for Craig. Design 10 for Cameron, 9 for Craig. Both replayability scores were 10 out of 10 for a total of 46 out of 50 for Cameron and 48 out of 50 for Caleb Craig, and that evens out to a 94 out of 100 for Persona 5.
Now, what's the Metacritic on that?
Let's see.
Persona 5's Metacritic.
Metacritic
Oh,
has it at
That's
a.
IGN.
Oh, hang on. Fuck. 1 second.
Well, what are your final thoughts on this thing, real quick?
Other than it's a fucking amazing game, I don't know, dude. Like it, you really need to like play it to really experience what's great about it.
Oh, wow.
It's honestly just fantastic. It like the themes that it goes into, and it gets dark. Like you spend
It's
time
a-
with some of the people, and you find out there's like some crazy shit.
It's really like just a reflection on current society is what it is. They try to stay very current with what the issues are going on today, and it's just really it's more of a comment of what's going on right now.
Games. The most current.
Things that are politically relevant now and things that are going on behind the scenes. It's a real good game. It's in the times.
All right, someone in the chat is asking if they weren't a fan of Persona 4 but love RPGs, should they give it a try? And I would say yes. There is a lot of differences between Persona 4 and 5, and it honestly the gameplay
Different type of
has,
game.
It's
in many
almost a different type of game. Yeah, like it's very similar, but there's a lot of changes that make it even better. Okay. In the gameplay, it's just fantastic. It is smooth and it is fast, and anyone who is a fan of RPGs will love it.
So Metacritic score was
93.
a 93. We gave it a 90. That's a really high Metacritic score, by the way.
Yeah,
and
that's
also a
pretty
very
fucking
high
high.
score from Nude Clan. What
It
did
is-
Doom get?
I think it was at 90, wouldn't it?
No, Doom was like a
96.
96.
89 or 96?
Doom was our best reviewed
Doom
one.
was really fucking
Doom
high.
and Diablo 2 have been our best reviewed games so far, I think. So I wanna find out what the score was.
It was
Oh,
just a
and
real
Nier
good
was really
reflection
high
on
as well,
desires and
wasn't it?
stuff like that. So
Nier was pretty high.
yeah.
Just wondering what the best reviewed game of all.
I don't know. It was just a recap of it. It's you're battling. Everyone has desires. Everyone has wants and needs, and it's
That's
it's really just a reflection on that, and a reflection on how you as a person and you and your friends can help make the world better. And at the end, it was the little cherry on top was we don't need superpowers to make the world better.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth to this
So
game.
fuck you,
that just
superhero movies.
There's a lot of depth to this game that just kind of like you can find while just playing it. Like certain things that you'll notice, like the personas that each of them get are like based on historical tricksters or mythological ones, and it's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, there is substance to this game. I'm not gonna lie. This is not just a quick little playthrough. There's actually something to gain from this game. So
Yeah, I looked it up, and our our Doom 2016 score was 97 out of 100. So
It's gonna be hard to beat that thing.
Joe gave it nothing but 10.
I did. I don't know why it's not 100 out of 100. I freaking love that game.
it's a fun game, but lacks the substance of Persona 5.
Yeah, but that's part of the greatness.
I
of
know, which is why I
think
had
you
more
gave
fun playing that game than I did this one.
And you could have played that game 10 times.
Yeah.
And the time it took you to play once.
But I learned something about
I think he
myself
could have
playing this
played it,
game.
yeah.
I learned something about myself that dating young people is not okay. Okay, guys, not okay.
It's like, where's
thank
this
you.
going? Midway through your sentence.
But
I was like,
dating your teacher is hot, so do that.
yeah.
The doctor is fucking hot.
Doctor would
too.
actually-
It's only hot if you're a guy
Right.
and the teacher's a woman.
Remember, it only
Not
ruins.
hot.
It only ruins their career, not yours.
Yeah.
So
You're a student. You don't have a career. So yeah, 94 out of 100. Very well reviewed game. Go out and play it, I guess. I wish I had 100+ hours to
You do,
dive into
Schweiss.
it. No, I
You
don't,
do.
Caleb. No.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to make me better.
I am,
You know
but
what's
I
funny?
also
Caleb
really,
Craig
really
had
want you.
that 100-hour game
Caleb,
Yeah.
you could beat this
and
game
is
in
still
3
beating
weeks.
you at the hop.
Yeah, dude.
Caleb, you
It's-
can't beat this game in
can't
3
beat
weeks.
it in 85 hours.
I beat it in 85 hours. Yeah.
No.
Dude.
No.
It's honestly, I want you both to play it. It is fucking fantastic.
So, Caleb, you were worried coming into this review, thinking of what I was going to say about it. So, you surprised or?
I am pleasantly surprised.
Okay,
yes.
good.
I was
It's like,
hoping.
are
I
you
was.
surprised. Good.
I was
'Cause
mostly-
actually here are my real scores.
I was mostly hoping that you wouldn't shit on it just because like
I
you were
can-
playing it in like a week.
No. See, I take things like that into consideration. No, there's one thing I got my gripe out about it. It's the fucking just endless dialogue. But other than that, yeah. Yeah.
Well, speaking of endless dialogue, Caleb and I have a forced entry to get through.
How is
Yeah.
that about endless dialogue?
Well, we're going to be playing Burnout Revenge, which is
Oh,
the clear
yes!
Which is a game that has fucking.
That's a game
no
I want
dialogue.
to join. That's a game I want to play
winner. There
with
are
you
plenty
guys.
of lyrics in the music,
Alright.
though.
Yeah, well,
This
I
honestly,
guess.
this is the one where you get to go full jihad on the game, and you get to blow yourself up after you wreck.
You could do that in Burnout 3.
No, you couldn't. You
Okay.
couldn't blow yourself
we
up.
had a
Yeah, you
freaking
can.
thing on Twitter. Who was more offensive, me or Schweiss?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a,
I
all it
win
means
that?
is holy war. It's a holy war against your enemies.
Yeah.
So no.
In
It's
the-
just
in the
that
religion-
Schweiss just said going full jihad.
Yes.
it's all about your persona charisma. He's maxed out his charisma score, and you still got some grinding to do.
Yeah.
Go take a bath, Joe.
I can't believe, guys. Who did you vote for?
Guys,
I didn't vote.
I didn't vote either. I just saw.
I
the
voted for
results.
you, but here's the
didn't
truth.
vote.
Here's the truth. I am more offensive, but I am joking, and you aren't. You're just an offensive human being. Mine are mostly jokes.
Mine are mostly jokes. What
It
are you
doesn't
talking
come
about?
off that way, though.
No, I
It's-
have a drier sense of humor.
I think it's hard for
Uh,
people to separate you from being offensive as a joke. Like,
So
it's
I would
just-
say I truly am more offensive.
That's your persona. You
But-
you have been labeled the ass, and that's the role you shall have. You are the ass of the show.
How am I more offensive than Schweiss? What do I say that can beat
Really?
going full jihad?
I want to put that on a shirt. So I mean, Jesus.
I'm gonna go full jihad.
Like a screenshot of Burnout Revenge, just blow. Because what you can do is you can blow up your car after you wreck to knock out your
Oh,
opponents.
man.
And that's not something you
Jeez.
could do in 3. What you could do is
Well,
blow
you
up.
could do it. You
super
could do it in
offensive,
crash
yes.
mode.
But you can do it in the
But
racing
they
now.
all come
Oh.
to suck the Schweiss cock, like you know. So
But they don't do road rage as well.
I know they don't. That's why I don't like the game. That's why
Are
we're
we still
trying
talking about Muslims?
no,
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Burnout.
we were never
Oh.
at any time talking
Sorry.
about Muslims.
Oh, if I would
That's why you're more offensive.
If I would have
That
said
was a joke.
if
But
I would
you-
have said holy war, would it have been different?
yes.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
would've
that
been
means, though.
Yeah, it's a softer.
And Megadeth sung about Holy War.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah.
automatically where my mind went as well.
Yeah.
Think about real holy wars. I thought about Megadeth
So,
for 1 second, and
second,
then moved over to.
Second place in the vote was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Third was Borderlands 2, and in last place, thankfully, the game I didn't want to play, Prototype.
Have you ever played Prototype?
Played the demo. I was like, this is like crappy, Infamous. I never played it.
It's all right, honestly. There's like some problems with like if you use a gun, it has kind of terrible aiming, but other than that, it's pretty fun.
All right. Well, thank you. That was Skull Hottie, right?
Yes.
For his review.
Yes, it was.
Or
His
his
nominees.
forced entry. Guys, keep in mind you can submit more than 4, but 4 is the minimum. So that is the way to.
You submit more than 4, and then we pick 4
Yeah.
out of them. That's how it's supposed to work, and then Schweiss didn't put the right thing on the page.
No, the thing is right on the Patreon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Did you
it's at
change
least
it?
4. No, it's been that way the whole time.
At
no
least
one,
4.
no one has given
Well,
us more
I
than
said,
4.
I thought we agreed on 10. being they have to give us a
I
list
honestly
of 10
don't
games,
remember that conversation, but
and then
whatever.
Okay.
I think it's fine if they give us just 4. I don't care.
Well, the issue was, we talked about this last week. The issue was if they nominated Wheel of Time.
Well, we can always tell them beforehand.
Then there's
This
some
game that we
games that we don't have
honestly
systems
can't
for.
play.
Like we can't play Breath of the Wild because none of us have or
I do.
2 of us don't have Switches, which is what it would
I have a
take.
Wii U.
Thank you. For
We
the
could
follow-up.
we could probably just borrow it. Why don't they have like a
Dylan would
console?
probably let you borrow
yeah.
the Switch.
So we could have a
If
Switch
you
from
buy the
Dylan,
game.
Wii U copy for Caleb, and play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not super.
I mean, yeah. Breath of the Wild gets nominated. We'll find
What
a
have
way.
I said that has been more offensive than this guy?
Jeez, just get off it already.
This is driving me insane. It was like 3 to 2, man. There was
Dude.
like a good amount of votes for me over him.
Yeah,
There was a lot
I'm
of votes
just
for
gonna-
him, to be fair.
Yeah.
What is it? What have I said that is more offensive?
It's more like your
It was-
personality.
Joe, what?
My personality is offensive?
Yes.
Joe, what you keep? Who's the one? Who is the one who posted this poll on Twitter? Who's
It was Joe.
It was me.
So you keep fucking doing these
you did it to
popularity
yourself,
contests.
yeah.
Like
You did
Joe,
it to
you're
yourself.
obsessed with these popularity contests, always trying to measure who's the most
wasn't a
popular.
popularity
It
thing.
is though. You're asking who's
It's
most
more of an
offensive.
anti-hero contest.
Yeah,
is
no,
what
no,
it
but
is.
he's doing this thing where he can feel bad about the score later. Like, just stop throwing it out there. You're doing it to yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a what it comes down to is who likes who more. Really, what it is.
Wait, so if they liked, do they like the offense or do they not like the offense, though?
Take a look at politicians.
'Cause
The more
look,
charismatic, the
last
more people
week-
like a
last
person,
week,
the
man.
more they overlook things that person does. It's the truth.
Last week, who said what about people who vape?
Now-
I went off about people vaping.
Now,
but it was about
behind-
vape selfie.
Behind the scenes,
Not about people who
there
vape.
is no doubt who the most offensive person is.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, there is no doubt who the most offensive person
Craig.
is.
He wasn't on the poll.
Yep.
But
no doubt.
No doubt.
No
yeah.
doubt.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
we agree.
Yes.
That Caleb
Yeah.
Schweiss is a disgusting,
Whoa! You're
despicable
putting words in
human
my mouth. Don't put words in my
being. Then he
mouth.
winks at me. You know this is over video, right?
I know. But that's part of
And then I had to
the
say, hey,
joke.
I have nothing against people who vape.
Well,
Not really.
it's
Schweiss
fine.
Literally does have.
You were the
It's
one.
fine, but you haven't
You were the
quit
one who got
smoking,
off.
so-
You were the one who got off on that though. So.
But I got off against the vape selfie.
You went off about vaping before too, though.
Way
Yeah.
more specific.
We've both gone off about vaping.
Yes,
I
but
will
I
say-
do think the vaping is better
What
than
the-
smoking.
what's
It
the
is,
point?
but you are still a smoker.
What the? Po-
Because when you say I quit smoking,
I
what
would
you really
rather-
mean is I quit my addiction to
I
tobacco
would
and
rather
nicotine.
people
That is
vape
what that
than
means.
smoke.
Cigarettes.
I would rather people
To
vape
tobacco.
than smoke. They
I would too.
They made a life choice that has making their life better. Yes, I can say they have successfully
And I
successfully quit
personally
smoking.
prefer the smell.
And that's the whole reason
Skittles.
vaping was invented in the first
I
place.
agree, but I disagree at the
What
same time.
I don't like is when there's high schoolers who think that this vaping thing is the cool new in thing to do, and they start vaping and taking
And vape
nicotine.
You know what?
selfies.
Look.
All part of way they want to present their image. This is all cool for them. When someone smokes and they turn to vaping instead, they are making a positive life choice.
They
and I
are, but
support
they
that.
are still addicted to nicotine. So here's
They
the problem
are,
I
but
have
they
with
are
it.
taking a nicotine,
the
which is
problem-
less harmful
I
than
don't have
smoking
a
a
problem.
cigarette.
The problem is that when everyone says it's tough to quit smoking, what they say, they're not saying it's tough to not freeze your ass off in the middle of winter because you have to go outside
But
to smoke
it's not
tobacco.
this. It's not this thing that you can
It's-
just quit smoking.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why they haven't. If they're vaping instead, they're still addicted to nicotine. That is what
Yeah,
they
no one's
mean.
arguing.
That
They're-
is what they mean
no
by
one's arguing
quitting
that.
smoking.
Yeah, but they're not. They're still ingesting nicotine, which they still get
there's
that
still
rush
nicotine
from.
patches,
There's
which they
still
use to help
nicotine.
quit smoking.
right. but
Nicotine
you're just
is
addicted
helping
to the
them.
fucking patch
No,
until
yeah,
you
no,
slowly
yes.
wean your way off.
Yeah, and that can help you do that.
But if you
I
just
would
go-
rather they vaped than smoked.
I would
period.
too.
And what I
I'm
don't
fine with
like
that.
is these kids who get into vaping and talk about their builds all to be cool, these vaping contests. That's blowing it out of proportions. physically and the whole discussion goes. If you vape because you smoke, that's better. If you vape because you think it's cool, that's where we're getting to the douchebag thing.
I would say the difficult part of quitting smoking is breaking the habit, the chemical addiction to nicotine. And if you vape, you have not.
And
done
that's one thing where vaping.
You are
comes
improving
in.
yourself, but you are still addicted to the substance.
That's
so you
where
didn't quit smoking in the traditional sense. When someone says
Well, when
I
they say
quit
that,
smoking,
they mean they quit cigarettes.
I know, but
Yeah.
they're not. They didn't quit the nicotine. It's not hard to quit smoking on a piece of fucking like a leaf and a balled up in a piece of.
So another
thing. That's
thing
not
about
what makes it tough. It's the
that
chemical.
makes vaping better to help you quit smoking than patches is the habit of being able to put
Or
something
it's
in
a
your
way
mouth
to
and
not
smoke.
Quit, but also not do as much harm to your body.
Yeah, which is
Exactly,
fine,
yeah.
but you're still addicted to the substance.
Yeah,
so in a way
yeah.
you
Like
haven't.
any people, do you argue with people? Whether or not they're still
someone I've
addicted to
seen people
nicotine?
say I've seen people it helped me quit smoking, and I've done it for 4 years now. I'm like, well, you didn't quit smoking, you just quit. I mean,
This
you
is
quit
one of
smoking
those read
cigarettes.
But
versus
no,
listen
but
things.
now
you are addicted. Well, it's where does the addiction lie? Where is the term smoker lie? It's with an addiction, I think. Alcoholic is with an addiction. If I drink, I'm not addicted to it, so I'm not an alcoholic. If I drink constantly and get blackout drunk every time, then I
There's
am.
literally smoke going on, so they are smoking.
Exactly. Well, and but
It's
I
not
do agree
smoke,
that
it's
it is
vapor.
an
They
improved.
quit smoking cigarettes.
It is an improved thing, so that is good, and that is a positive.
It is an improved thing. When it's made as a life choice, like I'm not going to
If they
smoke
start with
versus
vaping, though,
vaping.
that is ridiculous.
But if it's like
Don't start it.
it's
Plenty of
it's
people
all
do it.
these high school kids went and bought these vaping things,
I don't know
and
these high school
they're
kids. I don't-
they're taking. That's what I don't like. I like it when it's a tool to assist you getting off of something that's really harmful for your body, and that's where vaping to me is
All
good.
I'm trying to say is that I'm not as offensive as Schweiss is. I'm not even in the same damn league as Schweiss is when it comes to offense. I am nowhere near it.
Like I told
Schweiss
you,
has said
when you
horrible
you put it on Twitter,
things that make me shrivel
Wrong.
up like a raisin
Wrong.
when I hear them.
when you put it on Twitter, you make it a popularity contest. I'm sorry,
It's
that's the truth of the matter. That's what you did. You turned it into a popularity
Now,
contest.
So am I more popular because I'm more offensive?
no, he's just more popular and he can get away with being offensive, is what it is.
All right.
Or
we
has
have,
it been that
we
Joe
have
has
some,
offended me? I think we say
And-
offensive things to different types of people.
And another thing
think that's
is
what it
you
is.
get under people's skin more. That's another thing about the
dog
popularity
thing
contest.
was all you too.
the dog.
The dog thing
Maybe
was
that
all
was
you.
it. Maybe that
I
was
don't.
it.
I don't really care for him either, but I didn't go nearly as off.
Okay, we have some last
But it
minute
was a
questions for
joke.
Persona.
All right. Last minute questions.
You don't have to tell me.
All
I
right,
know.
Happy Weekend asks, what would your persona
Happy
in real
Weekend-
life? What would be
Happy
your persona
Weekend
in
what?
real life?
I'm pretty sure Joe would have Mara.
Actually, he says that. I think Mara would be perfect for Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
At least you get a dick and balls in a wheelbarrow. That's the only time you can ever
That's
have
the
that.
that's
so
the best type of
yeah.
dick and balls
To have yeah.
presentation that you could have.
I guess this question's
So
pointed
big, I
to
have
me
put it
and
on a
you
wheel.
because
Well,
we're the ones
it
who
is,
played
yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Jeez, what would I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't really understand like what persona's tied to what person. Like, what would Schweiss have? Would he fucking have the demon on a toilet?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
That seems like his thing.
Yeah. I guess he gets that. So yeah.
Notice the toilet. Very offensive.
Yeah. It's a place of relaxation.
It's where he can spout his filth in a clean way.
Yeah.
I can't believe people think.
Jeez, just get off of it.
Okay, I think
get off of it.
Siegfried for me. I like Siegfried a lot.
Yeah, but is Siegfried you though? You just like Siegfried, but are you
is
Siegfried?
me. Yes.
See, Joe, you got to get off. You turned it into a popularity contest.
Honestly,
Oh my
I'm
God,
going to stop
please stop
swearing
this.
because that makes me automatically.
But that's
less offensive.
not going to work for you.
That doesn't make you
On
less
our
offensive.
platform, not swearing is not going to
Okay,
mean
Joe,
shit to people
Joe,
who listen to
you're
us.
not
Constantly,
gonna mean
constantly
darn.
advertising that you're not going to swear is like saying, like it's like
I'm not
somebody
gonna do
who's
it.
vegan constantly telling other people to be vegan.
Oh yeah,
No,
I
I'm
stopped
not saying
swearing. My life is so
Meat
much
is
better.
murder.
No, I'm not saying
Don't
that.
swear.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's going to make me about 10% less offensive.
No, it's going to make you more offensive.
Yeah,
How's that going to make me more offensive?
because you're going to
Because
keep getting
if you
on about
swear,
it.
then people who swear feel more comfortable around you.
If not, you just seem pompous, which is
it's
offensive.
true. It's a true thing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Just so pompous.
it's really your
offensive.
your attitude and how you go about things that rub people the wrong way. You turn it into like yes,
But how
you
is
say
that equal to offense?
because people are offended by the way you present your opinion. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking.
No, that's part of the show.
All right. The other question. What is the most boring part of the game for you?
Did you
For
eat
me, the
that
game dragged
entire
on too
thing?
long.
Yes.
Just lost interest halfway through. Sadly.
Sorry, what was that?
So,
Oh my God.
I
guys.
just noticed that
Fucking-
Twice ate an entire thing of Tic Tacs over the course of this show.
So I do that all the time.
There was a full thing of Tic Tacs. There was a full thing of Tic Tacs in his hand when he came to sit down, and now there is an empty thing of Tic Tacs.
See, fresh breath is the way not to be offensive.
That ain't fresh. Those are orange.
Yeah, those are candy.
Those are orange. Those are candy Tic Tacs. I mean, I love them too, man. I don't blame you. It's just wow. That's some Tic Tac love.
All right. He asked, "What's the most boring part of the game for you?"
Most boring. I think we went over that.
Yeah, we kind of did. For me, it was probably Palace 5. I didn't care for that one as much as the other ones.
What was Past 5 again?
It was the space station.
Oh, so Okumura Foods.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay too, but it was like not.
The
as-
boss battle was really boring, though.
Yeah, the boss battle was probably the most boring one out of all of them.
Yeah. Here, fight some enemies you've already fought, and then fight me, and I'd only last for like 2 seconds.
Well, it
Woohoo!
was like the last
but it's
robot
re-
you
but
fight
it-
that's
right,
ridiculous.
Right, but it was really just a setup for.
Big
It was really
Burger.
just a setup for the turn. That was the turn of the story, which was what that setup was for.
Yeah, it's true. But
So yeah.
God, that fucking Big Bang Burger attack from that guy. Fuck that guy. Like one shot, all of my dudes with
Yeah.
that one attack.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, dude. It's only like a % chance that he'll kill your dude with that move, and he killed all of my dudes.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
All right.
All right, next question is Futaba or Anne?
What do you mean? What's the question here?
Just Futaba or Anne?
Well, if it's a question of who to date, then the obvious answer is Anne because Futaba's 14.
It's true, yeah. I like
Yeah,
Futaba
but
as
these
a
weebs don't
character
care.
more, though.
Futaba as a character, her progression is more in depth.
Disgusting, despicable human
Anne
being.
as a
I'm gonna be
character-
as offensive as I can be towards
Her inspiration.
Let's start it now.
Her inspiration of Anne's inspiration
molesters.
is less convincing. She's more of the pretty girl who is suffering because she is the pretty girl.
Yeah.
But as a person
has
to
never
date,
existed.
it does exist.
Nope.
It's
Definitely
it's
doesn't
the
make sense.
alienation of someone who's pretty because people
Because
are
they're
either
pretty.
A, are really offensive to them because they're really pretty, or B, too scared to talk
Have you
to
ever
them
been
because they're really pretty.
offensive towards a pretty person?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I have not.
Apparently, I have.
Well, you're
I've been
offensive to
offensive
everyone.
all people.
Oh, yeah, you're offensive to all people. So the next question is,
Equal
who is
opportunity
the best
offender.
girl and why is Rise better? Rise is not even in this game. She's
What?
from 4.
I cannot answer that question.
Well,
so.
who was the best girl for you?
The
Obviously,
best girl?
Kawakami.
It was either Kawakami or Makoto.
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 Makata.
Makoto. I was feeling some things for
Makata?
Hifumi. Hifumi. I was feeling some things for her, but Kawakami coming over to my room was really great.
Yeah.
She gives you a special massage, dude. And she does all your fucking chores for you, so you can do more things throughout the day. That's
true.
That, my friend,
She also can
is
give
a
you,
great
she
benefit.
can give you the massage so
Happy
that you
ending?
can do stuff after the going to Mementos.
So
and
the
stuff.
reason why she's the best, in my opinion, is because you only have certain amount of things you can do during the day, and she can make it so you can do one more thing a day, and that is great.
It is pretty sweet. All right. How did you feel about Sojiro?
I
And
liked
what
it.
ending did you get?
I got the hard but good ending.
The true ending.
The true ending, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like Sojiro. He was a really
Sojiro was
awesome
great.
character.
Yeah. I mean, the beginning he was a little gruff. I'm like, why did you even take me in if you're going to act this way? But as you progress
Like,
with your
yeah,
relationship,
he does have he feels stuff for you later on.
yeah, and so
He's a good
he
dad.
he turns into the fatherly figure that you help along. So yeah,
Yeah. All right. Morgana, best cat or best car?
best car.
He is a good car.
He is better as a car than a cat who tells me when I can fucking go to sleep and do nothing else. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is it. That is
Good.
the last question.
Okay. Well, that's probably it for today.
Yeah, next
then.
week we should have had the hog today. I was looking at the calendar and I saw
Oh, crap.
Saturday, and I was
Guys,
like,
put
okay.
in your hog.
Yeah, put in your hog. We'll
I
have
heard.
the updates
I looked
next
at
week.
Disa put in her hog last night.
A
so.
few people have, yeah. So catch us up on that. We'll announce leaders next week. We'll also have a drawing for a video game. Are we putting any copies of Persona up there? I know.
I'd have to throw mine up.
Okay.
I might. Yeah, I'll throw mine up, but I kind of want to do a little bit of New Game Plus first, but I'll throw mine up.
It's okay. Give me one of those. Hey, we owe it to you, but it's gonna take a couple.
Yeah.
Wait till Schweiss plays it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and yes, get your hog in, and we'll see you guys next week.
No, Jake.
Hold on, I got a question from me to you.
From us to you?
Yeah, from us to you.
Okay.
In what way is Joe more offensive than Kate?
Oh my God, dude. That is why you're more offensive.
How is that an offensive statement?
You're putting up
Because
your
you're a
fucking self-worth on the pedestal of the show, and you're wanting people to basically
I just don't want
judge
to be
you.
as offensive as Jihad dude over here.
Joe, you gotta let it go. You're letting your insecurity show here a little
You gotta
bit.
let stuff go, Joe. You gotta let stuff go.
I know.
I'm one with the wind and sky.
I know
okay?
when it comes to the
I let it
popularity
go.
contest, I'm gonna lose, so I don't talk about it, so I can feel okay. Joe, you just gotta let it go.
I'm not asking who's more popular. I'm asking.
But
who's
you
obvious.
were.
The obvious
That's the
answer
whole
to that is
point.
me.
Look, I love offensive comedians. It doesn't bug me that someone's offensive. What bugs me is that I try to censor myself just a little bit. Schweiss doesn't.
What you are the
And yet
point.
I'm seeing as the offensive.
The point is you're missing that it turned into a popularity
It's not a
contest.
popularity.
I know it's not, but that's what
I
it
don't
turned
give a crap
into.
that I'm less popular than Schweiss is. I honestly don't.
But
because
you
I know the
don't
truth.
realize is yes, we know the truth, and you can live good with the truth. But when you throw it up on Twitter,
That's what makes
when
it
you
more
throw
of
it
a-
up on
yeah.
Twitter, that's A, kind of offensive. B, you look a little insecure, and C, they're gonna vote for who they like more.
Well, this isn't a vote. I'm wondering why I am more offensive.
Oh, jeez, just let it go.
It's because
You'll
of
feel
this.
better.
This is why you're more offensive.
What is offensive about
shit
this?
is just this.
What is this?
It's you. You are offensive. You're not getting it. You as a person are just offensive.
Well, that's just rude.
You offend people's sensibilities.
We are
just
getting
by
really
being
in under his skin
there.
right now. Holy crap,
God,
Caleb!
fucking damn it, Joe. Let it go.
Am I offending you right now?
Yes.
In what way? See,
Because you won't let
okay,
it go.
hold on. Let's go to the definition of offense.
All right, welcome
that-
to Getting Fat,
My
the
assumption,
special edition
when
where
I say someone is offensive,
we offend each other.
as someone who says really offensive things, like actual statements that one would consider not okay to say.
Everything is okay to say.
So you're trying to
So then
quantify.
there's no offense.
Everything's
Exactly.
permitted.
Yeah. Everything is okay to make fun of, or nothing is okay to make fun of.
Okay.
That is how that works.
All right.
I was actually, funny enough, I was listening to this
All right,
public
let's go
radio.
Full jihad on this.
I was just let it fucking go. But I was listening to this public radio
You said that
show
more than Schweiss
where
says now. You
where
realize.
when doctors are allowed to make jokes about things, and where is it offensive for a doctor to make a joke, and where is it not offensive for a doctor to make a joke. So the story is this 16-year-old kid comes in. He goes, "I think there's a piece of plastic in my bladder," and the doctor goes, "Well, why do you think that?" He goes, "Well, I went to sleep and there was a piece of plastic on the windowsill, and when I woke up, the plastic was gone." And the doctor's like, "Well, whatever." And so he looks, and sure enough, there's a piece of plastic in the kid's bladder, and so he pulls it out, and as he's walking out, the kid's not in the room anymore. He's talking to the nurse. He's like, "I'm glad he didn't lose his cat." But see, it's like, when are doctors allowed to make jokes like that? When is it funny and when is it offensive?
It's all about the timing and the situation.
Exactly, timing and situation.
I say things with an authoritative air.
Yes, yeah.
Is
When you view
do
that your
people
opinion,
not-
when you view your opinion above other people's opinions, and yes, Joe, we had this whole thing where if it doesn't exist for you, it doesn't fucking exist for anyone else.
But these are all sarcastic statements.
People
But
don't
you
get
act
that
that
because
way.
you
Over
can't
the
do
top.
sarcasm. You can't do
I
it.
do sarcasm all the time.
Nobody can tell.
All the entire time.
Nobody can fucking tell, and
It's
that's the problem.
You can tell, can't you?
when
I
your
can tell
when
because
your
I've known you for
presentation,
years.
when your
Okay.
presentation
So
is just
people think I'm serious all the time.
yeah, because you don't
of-
see
part
part
of
of it is because you can't fucking
Including
take
this
a joke.
conversation.
No. Part
which
of
is
it
a joke conversation.
Part of it is
Guys, this is not serious.
when you can't take a joke sometimes, and when you try to give a joke, people think you're serious because you can't take a joke.
But Okay. I can't take jokes. You're right. I can't tell when someone else is being sarcastic, but I give it all the time. I
Right.
call it the Degolier curse because my entire family is like this. We'll all say really sarcastic, dry things and won't mean it. But the other person will think that they meant it 100%. So when I say that all dog owners who own more than one dog are a piece of shit, that is a joke. That is not an actual opinion.
I think you're- I
It
think you-
is over the top. It is over the top. Do we know this? At least me and Craig know this. Craig, my best friend here, he knows. He knows that I am kidding.
No, I think there's something inside you who actually thinks the things you say. I mean, that's what. So people use humor as a shield to say things they wouldn't normally be able to say.
Yeah, but now people think it's just real. It's not humor. It's just Joe is an a-hole. And thus more offensive.
All right. Somebody says, as someone who has listened to the show for years, it's hard to tell at first.
Wow.
So you remember when I said
must sound like a raving lunatic.
You remember when I said there's like a Joe grind that you have to get through before you can stand? That's what I mean by
it's
that.
a dry.
There's
sense of humor.
There's a
Is that
curve
what it is?
before they can tell that you're actually
I
kidding.
can't help but have a dry sense of humor. I don't know how to do.
I have a dry sense of humor
I
too.
think all
but-
of us do.
I don't know how to do.
we all
opposite of
get
that.
pretty fucking dry.
So dry.
No lube between us.
No lube.
No, it's all
Just
raw.
shove it in. Can't even spit on it first.
No, that's lube.
So maybe people just don't know I'm joking. If I ever say
seems to be the
something like
case.
way over
Whenever
the top,
you say something
it's
here,
a
hey, Joe,
joke.
Joe, let's try this out. Let's see. Let's try this out. Let's say every time you say something dry or sarcastic, you have to give a little wink with it, and then see how many people you freak out. How often are you dry and joking? We judge it by how many people now
guys,
feel
this really
scared to
hurts
be
my
around you.
feelings.
See, now there's an example of a joke which is a joke, but not a joke.
It is a joke. Here's the honest part. Honest confusion.
Oh, okay.
Absolute confusion. Because to me, what's more offensive is saying, let's go full G-on. Like,
See, you
Then-
keep picking at that one example.
well,
you
because
you
it's-
can't let it go.
It's number one example on my mind right now because he literally said it, and then I'm just thinking, he won a poll. I won a poll this week that said I was
Joe,
more offensive than Schweiss. I
you were the-
never said anything.
Joe,
that
the
offensive.
whole root, the whole root
you
of
said
it is
like
the fucking
5
poll.
times since he said it.
Yeah.
The whole root
Even
of it.
if it was a
That's your
joke, you
5
have been
times
saying
more
it.
You gotta stop putting things like this up to a vote. You just got stop with the fucking polls.
I'm all about democratic. Man.
Stop with the polls, man.
There's nothing more important than democracy.
This is a dictatorship. I don't know what you're talking
Did you
about.
get that wink?
I fucking got the wink.
The wink. Good. Pieces of shit. I don't know what I just said.
See, yeah,
That was 2.
Joe, you
That
got
was
it.
2. That's 50 cents towards charity.
When you stop caring how others view you and stop fucking putting it for a poll, you're gonna feel better.
Cameron,
You're gonna feel better.
When I don't care how people view me, I became really fat.
Okay, no. Be
My hair
conscientious.
grows out really long.
Be conscientious
Yeah.
about yourself, about your health, and then be a nice person. But then just keep doing you, and you'll be happier.
I do myself
Stop
every
fucking
single night. There's another wink. In case you didn't hear.
Yes.
In case you didn't hear
the
that wink.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe if I had like pink eye, there'd be some
All
like,
right, plugs.
squishiness in there. Plugs?
Yeah, do plugs, Joe.
You want me to do plugs?
Yeah.
I got
Am
a
I
cat.
balding?
I was
Go fuck
thinking.
that socket right there. Go fuck it right now.
No. I was thinking of like cattail plugs that he could, shove up his ass. But that's where my mind went.
I'm sure you were.
Okay.
Uh,
I was told I'm pretty smart and kind.
he was
Which-
kind. He was smart.
Soothing words.
Which is all things I've never been told in my life. So
it's
I'm
not
pretty
true?
sure it's not true.
Wait, why the fuck are you winking?
I'm winking because this is not a serious statement.
So someone said, "My God, hug that man," so we could move on.
Caleb, since you're his best friend.
getting salty now too?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
No, he's getting salty over there. Can't stand it.
I mean,
How often am I serious, Caleb Craig?
Most of
Caleb
the
Craig.
time. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold on.
Joe jokes quite often. It's pretty much all the time.
Okay. So how often are my statements jokes? If I say something crazy, is it a joke or is it a serious statement?
That depends on what we're talking about.
I think the joke comes from a serious place, but it's blown out of proportion.
that's
Okay.
That's the thing.
But I know that it's being blown out of proportion.
But
Yes,
nobody else.
and
does.
yes.
so do we.
And so when it exists
you
for
guys-
Joe, it must exist for everyone else.
I just maybe other people can. That was something that was brought up on our little thing that we'll have to put out someday. The behind the podcast thing with William.
Oh yeah.
It was something where he thought I was like deadly serious, or the girl thought I was deadly serious when I said we need to shove a spiked dildo up that guy's ass for screwing us over, and so she started to read her scriptures in order to purify her soul and what she had just witnessed. But for me, it was a joke.
I'm gonna start wearing a cross just so I can hold it out to you whenever I'm offended.
We need
pure-
to shove
purify.
a spiked dildo up that guy's ass and carve something on his chest is what I said. If you guys heard that, you would know it was a joke, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a very good one necessarily.
I'm not arguing whether or not they're good jokes, but they are
But I-
not serious.
I
I'm
would
not
assume-
seriously saying, let us go.
Let's
and
sodomize this man. Yeah, I wouldn't think that that's
Come on,
actually
guys,
what you
let's
want.
go.
You're like grabbing the torches. Like, are we not gonna sodomize this man right now? Yeah.
All right. Speaking of sodomy, you can find me at Twitch or Twitter
At Twitch?
at Joseph DeGolier. You can also find me on Twitch streaming on Ultimate Final Fantasy for now until I get another Nude Clan game I have to play.
Yeah, it'll be a little while before we have another.
Yeah, this is
nom.
my dry spell season. In
You
the,
know what?
Rotation.
Persona 5 is such a great game that everyone's gonna want to fucking listen to this review and get this tail into it. Everyone's gonna find all
Are
this
you
juicy little
ashamed,
bit.
Cameron?
I am not ashamed. No, I'm not ashamed at all.
Okay.
Okay.
You can find me at Obsidian Bio.
You can find me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And you can go shit the bed.
See, you get a. Okay, no,
I'm not actually.
I know
What
you're
does that
not.
even fucking mean?
It means stop working, or like when you say something has shit the bed, it basically just breaks. It's a term. It's weird, yeah. Because I mean, how many people actually shit the bed other than babies?
Dude, honestly, I've only heard that said
thought you were
in
gonna
fucking
say-
like Always Sunny.
You know, actually, I only hear that from you. Like I'm thinking back that
You?
I've
Who's
heard
you?
I've heard the term "shit the bed," and I've only heard it from Caleb. And I feel
Yeah.
like
It's just me being
I hear it all the
around Caleb,
time.
I
I hear it all the
just automatically
time.
wanna say it.
I'm like, I feel like this term "shit the bed's" a common term, but
It's,
actually, I only hear it from Caleb, and he
it's-
says it all the time.
Yeah.
It's in Silicon Valley. They say it a bunch.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just barely watched all of that, so.
Oh, good, you're caught up.
Oh yeah,
Fucking love that show.
it was good. Season 4 is good.
Not as good as season 7 of Thrones, but
It's a good thing I've watched it all the way through.
Oh, have you?
No,
Oh, I was like, shit.
That was another joke.
that was
I could
not.
also-
That was like a half.
It was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm.
I could tell.
That was sarcasm, guys. Sarcasm 101. That A, sarcasm. B, not sarcasm. Come on, write it down on your papers. Hand them in. We'll grade them later.
All right, so you can also follow us on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. Great way to support the show is Patreon. You can pledge a certain dollar amount to our podcast per month. We have some great reviews. I think I still need to release the Jurassic Park 3 commentary on there. I keep forgetting to do that. I'll put that on later tonight. You guys can buy your Amazon products through our Amazon link. And speaking of Amazon, you can also subscribe to our Twitch channel for free if you have Amazon Prime. They give you one free subscription on there. So please use that for the Nude Clan. And I am working on some little emotes. They denied the one for you, though, because I had to alter the image a little bit. And they said it needs to be the exact same image. So I need to find a way to make an image that is that size of that picture, and the file size needs to be the same for 3 different sizes of image. So it's a giant pain in the ass. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, send me the instructions. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
can
And
do
I
it.
want to make emotes.
That was
for,
sarcasm. No, I'm just kidding.
For all four
that
of us,
wasn't
too.
sarcasm.
So it's B. All right. Yeah.
It's B.
So yeah, come hang out with us. I'm probably gonna
But
stream.
me saying that was sarcasm was in fact sarcasm.
I'm gonna stream a lot this October. I want to do a bunch of Halloween themed games. I think I'm gonna start out Monday with Costume Quest 2. So come hang out with me then.
Joe will
and-
swing out with his Cocktober too. So
yeah, Cocktober.
That's right. There is no October without Cocktober.
That's right. So yeah, come hang out with us and go to the website. Check out the forums. Ask your questions. We'll answer them. You know the drill.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Enjoy the nude.
may the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
Vegeta.
Game over, man. Game over. What are we gonna do now? Too bad you will die.
Winning is not to blame. How about a nice game of chess?
It's 4 hours of podcasting.
Caleb, how are you getting home?
I texted my brother.
I can take you.
Well,
Tell your brother to screw off. I gotta kill time.
okay.
I gotta kill time. I gotta go over to Drew's at 7.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of time to kill.
That is a lot of time to kill. So I'll mix, and then I'll go. I can't do sarcasm. Wait, are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Why are you
Oh,
doing
that's
that?
nice. I almost said something offensive.
Surprise, surprise.
I don't know.
Hey, Jake, do you have a copy of Burnout Revenge I can borrow from you?
He has a list that you can look at on the
I have
site.
to go to his website, though.
Oh, it's a dark place that no one visits, but
I
might
think
as
it
well.
actually is dark.
If he still has that horrible theme that he picked, then yes. You typed it out instead of just going to a regular site, hovering over hosts, and then clicking on his name. Okay, it's back to normal. Good.
My eyes hurt, guys. And I found out around the 10-hour mark, the TV does not like to stay on.
What? Really?
It gets quite hot.
Is that from just decades of you leaving the TV on and living? 'cause
No,
that
this is my mom's TV, which she bought refurbished.
Oh, well, yeah, that happens.
My TV has no issues with that. And when I turn off
Yeah,
everything, all the input. No. When I turn off all the input on my TV, it turns off after 15 minutes.
Well, the refurbished ones are usually like left on for a long time.
No, so this one, there was some sort of defect, but it does not like staying on longer than 10
How much
hours.
is El Tapatio?
That depends on what you get.
What we got last time, which was amazing.
It's like 16
And then you got a tip. So it's like 20.
Yeah.
Well, you guys would
Split
only
between
need
two
one
people.
pineapple between the two of you, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
one
16 for
one pineapple. One pineapple is okay. Just share one pineapple. You guys would be
Wait,
good.
So it'd be like
did we
8
do
apiece.
2 separate ones, or did we just do one?
Whenever it's
I
just
think
a whenever it's
I
just a
think we did
normal
2
date.
because I took both you and Schweiss there.
Yeah, three people. 2 pineapples is just too much, but one pineapple's not enough.
Only camera.
It was us 3 that we went, and then 2 pineapples is too much for 3 people, but one
Yeah, we
pineapple's
found
not
that
enough. But one pineapple is not enough for 3 people.
I
So
think I only have like $12 of spending money right now.
well, you should just do one
Well,
pineapple.
I'll buy it, Joe, if you want to like pay me back later or do whatever. I don't know.
Because El Tapatio sounds amazing.
It's
It's
so good. fuck, that place is so good.
F that place.
No, I said, oh fuck, that place
want
is
to
so
come?
good.
I want to come.
You want to come, Cam?
Please don't make a
No,
loop
I'm
with
not.
that.
I'm not coming.
All right, guys, we're gonna take off.
I'm not
Gotta
coming.
get,
Your I just.
Streaming?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No. Hey guys, in case you're stalking us, we're gonna be in El Tapatio.
Yeah. Come join.
In Payson, Utah.
Yeah.
The address is.
I don't know what the address
I don't know. It's on Main Street.
It is.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. Come hang out for the October streams.